as people return to the workplace in record numbers. They expect a seamless experience that is worth the commute. As technology evolves, we'll be there, leading the way, inspiring teams to work together, empowering businesses to grow beyond limits, connecting people, spaces, and technology. This is what we're known for. It's our forte. Let's transform the modern workplace together.
With AI-driven voice translation, AI Media makes seamless global communication. In a world that's more connected than ever, language barriers still limit communication. Lexi Voice eliminates these barriers, delivering real-time translations across the globe.
Here's the shot.
Seamlessly connecting viewers and attendees, Lexi Voice ensures your content speaks their language, whether on-site or at home.
我们将继续报道白宫及
Over 70% of the world's population speaks more than one language, yet 80% of online content is still inaccessible to non-native speakers. Lexi Voice empowers you to expand your market reach, grow your audience, and increase revenue. Ready to connect with the world? Visit AI Media's website and experience Lexi Voice today.
Video walls have become the focal point in a variety of Pro AV applications, from corporate campuses to command and control centers. As they grow in size and importance, video walls take on a bigger role. That's where Mira DVW comes in. It delivers seamless, perfectly synchronized video walls with high-performance decoding and modern IP networking. With simple configuration, HEVC 444 support, and built-in security, it's designed for clarity, scale, and confidence. From a single appliance to large-scale deployments, performance grows as your wall grows. Mira DVW, a smarter way to build and scale video walls.
Meet the Move 4K, precise PTZ control with true 4K 60 clarity. Onboard SDI, HDMI, USB, IP, and Power over Ethernet Plus, a built-in tally light and native NDI HX3, 12, 20, or 30x zoom. Perfect for the field, stadium, or stage. Auto tracking with presenter lock keeps the speaker in frame. Local or remote control with Hive Studio, Web UI, joysticks, or third-party platforms. Voice tracking helps remote meeting participants feel like they're in the room. The Move 4K. Powerful.
Flawless live event production isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Ross Video provides scalable, reliable AV solutions built to meet. Whether you're running a company-wide meeting in an auditorium or switching between hybrid flex spaces, Ross gives you full control. Seamless video switching, automation, graphics, and more, all in one ecosystem. Our solutions adapt to your space and your people, whether your team is highly technical or just getting started. Automate your cues and fire entire sequences with a single button. So when it's time to go live, everything just works. Backed by round-the-clock support and trusted by the world's most respected organizations, Ross delivers peace of mind when it matters most. From quarterly earnings calls to global product launches, Ross gives you the solutions to deliver the moment.
team deserves extraordinary audio in their meetings, but sometimes obstacles get in the way. That's why we created the Unity, and a system ready to scale as your team grows, capturing every word for precise AI transcription. Designed for IT, secure, cloud managed, simple. The bar that removes barriers.
Most of us expect life to run smoothly. But we don't stop to think about what it takes to make that happen. Most of us don't have to. We forget about the people up and moving before our alarms go off. The people behind the innovation and logistics, the creativity, and the know-how. The people who connect rural communities with essential services, who work tirelessly to build, connect, power, and protect our lives. But the world isn't always predictable, and unexpected challenges demand creative solutions. We rely on those willing to brave intense environments and gather the resources that fuel our daily lives. We don't have to wonder about the ins and outs of life, because that is what Wesco does. We provide innovative supply chain solutions every hour, every day, all around the globe. Our people roll up their sleeves and help create a world you can depend on, focusing on the details, the challenges, and the unexpected, so that you can live life uninterrupted. Wesco. Ingenuity delivered.
As your IT manager, I choose which platform we use for virtual meetings.
It will prompt you to download a weird app, and your clients will be actively upset when you send them a link.
I use Zoom.
Sit down, Mr. Thompson!
I use Zoom AI Companion.
You will have no companion of any kind!
I use Zoom Contact Center.
No, you will not start a movement!
I use Zoom in this coffee shop.
Uso Zoom para traducir.
Be part of the movement. Zoom ahead.
Ooh. Ooh, sorry.
Ben, what the heck? What the heck are you doing?
What do you mean? The Winter Olympics starts tomorrow.
But we're here at the AVIXA TV studio. We're shooting, AVIXA TV every day.
Yeah, but it's Olympics. Have you not got Olympic fever?
I do, but what does the Olympics have to do with you?
Well, it's open to everybody, so why not? Why not get involved?
Did you qualify for anything?
Well, I'm not going to qualify hanging around here talking to you. I've got events to practice for, so see you in a bit.
Rude.
Now, we've got to find Sam.
Phenomenal. Yeah. What's the... What?
Guys, hold on.
Ben, I'm trying to prepare for the show, and you're over here. What are you doing?
Training for the Olympics.
I can't. Trisha, we gotta go.
What the...
Oh, I can't believe you're making me do this, Ben.
Good afternoon and welcome back to day 4. And it's our last day of our live broadcast of AVIXA TV at ISE. But thankfully, the show's not over yet. And there's still so much to do and see. I'm Ben Barnard.
And I'm Samantha Powell. And no, we are not Olympic athletes. We only play them on AVIXA TV.
But Sam, if you were an Olympic athlete, which sport would you choose?
Oh my gosh. I think I would try to be the next Simone Biles in gymnastics.
Nice.
I have no agility whatsoever. But that is something it's just so amazing to see those athletes, like all the training that they have to go through. They are powerhouses.
Big
So
time.
that would be my choice. What about you?
I feel like something I could take advantage of my height.
Okay.
Pole vault, maybe long jump, high jump. Maybe not pole vault, actually. I've seen some pretty nasty accidents on that one. I'll show you a video
do that.
later. Yeah, no, it's bad. All right, well, now that that's settled, let's get back to our real areas of expertise. We're going to talk to lots of folks today who are gold medalists in their fields. We'll hear about new workplace solutions, go behind the scenes at La Salle University, and review some show highlights.
I've also heard there's going to be a very special announcement at the end of the day today.
In other words, a lot to look forward to.
Absolutely. So we're going to kick things off today with our broadcast with Tara Dunning and Phil Langley of Wesco Anixter. Phil, great to have you back, and thank you so much for joining us for the first time. How is your ISE going so far?
Great show. I thought last year was a good show. This is an excellent show. Really good.
Yeah.
You know, when you set out to get a strategy together and you take it to market, you're always checking to make sure you got it right. But when you mind, then you know you're on the right track. And that's what we've seen a lot of here.
That's
excellent.
Fantastic. So Tara, as we said, thank you for joining us for your very first time. So we know that you're on the board of the security industry and you're also a Megatrends advisor. So what would you say is the most exciting thing happening in the market right now?
Great question. And I would say that if you frame it out as the pace of technological change and how far it's advancing and how it's also driving really because of the AI boom. AI is like a brain. It needs a host and it needs a network to work. And the trend is really about convergence between all of these various operational and IT systems coming together on the rapidly expanding edge. And that creates opportunity across the board for all of us.
Yeah, go for it.
I was just going to say, it's that opportunity that is a challenge as well as a big opportunity for the channel. It's because the product's commoditizing in a good way. It's another AV is now another endpoint on the network, and that's lowered the barriers to entry for others to enter. But equally, it allows the system integrator, the Pro AV system integrator, to grab new technologies outside that. But they have to do it because they'll be left standing still otherwise. But and we're here to support that. That's what we do.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
exactly. So you mentioned convergence already, and we are seeing the convergence of technologies across AV. So you've got physical security, networking, wireless, and IoT. Can you describe this convergence and the market trends that are underpinning it, and also what it means for the role of the integrator?
It's really validating at the show, quite frankly, because AV can be many things. It can be collaboration, it can be visual displays, it can be public address, mass notification, a whole intercom. And if you think about adjacent technologies like security, like the video surveillance camera, access control, that all sits on the same network, but you really need it interoperable and coming together. And that's what we're seeing across the show, is companies that are producing solutions that serve not just safety, but operational efficiency, collaboration, even opportunities to generate revenue. And it's a really exciting time, both for the practitioner and the integrator, as well as the manufacturers.
Yeah, I have to agree. We're seeing a lot of crossing over what was traditionally, Pro AV was a very creative industry in terms of taking disparate gear and making it. Now not so much because of the way the manufacturers are producing the product. So we're seeing a lot of system integrators from outside of Pro AV come into this world, and we're very thankful for that.
Yeah,
absolutely, yes. And everything is so interconnected. And at Wesco, we were talking about services underpin everything. And so how is your service-led services approach forward design when it comes to staging or kitting? Life cycle support, how is that helping to reduce complexity and accelerate outcomes in digital transformation of its partners as well as its customers? And what are you seeing as some of the biggest challenges that customers are facing in achieving global consistency, as well as how Wesco is helping to overcome those challenges?
That's a great question. And I would say you have to have a very end user, the consumer mindset, because as the world becomes more complex, as more and more things are on these networks, whether it's in a building, in a factory, in a retail environment, the end user wants to consolidate their spend, and they want everything working together. And it's very hard to be the master of everything. So we at Wesco really act as an aggregator and an ecosystem enabler. So we help both the channel, the manufacturing partners come together to bring a full solution that's easy to consume and that drives the best customer experience possible. And we do that through our services offering. So it could be everything, as you said, from kitting to installation management to ensuring that you have a consistent experience if it's a global enterprise, for example, wherever they go in the world. Phil, I don't know if you want to add.
Yeah, I think the biggest point we spoke about before was a creative industry. Creativity is very hard to scale, and a problem we've had in the industry is getting the same outcome in every room. If we just look at the corporate vertical, what we can do now, and the technology lends itself to do that, is to scale spaces. And what's happened is we've gone from 40 rooms to 4,000 rooms to 10,000 rooms. And that's really challenging system integrators on their balance sheet, how they cash, how do they do the working capital. So we do that. So we will take on a big program, and we will get an order from the dealer for this particular job. We will pick the product, take the packaging off it, update the firmware, stick it on a pallet, and then we will ship that in quantities that the PM, the system integrator, wants. And the invoice clock doesn't start ticking until that product's on for those 10.
Oh, wow.
So so within that service is a financial working capital program, and it just helps our dealers scale.
Yeah, for sure. So Wesco Anixter supports all parts of what it calls the media ecosystem. Can you just give us an idea of what makes up that media ecosystem and maybe how it's evolving at the moment?
I'll take that one, yeah. So we've identified 5 areas of the broadcast, what we call in the media ecosystem. The one that you were speaking about before, Ben, the broadcast AV, we don't tend to look at. The 2 areas we look at is large venues, stadia, broadcast infrastructure, OB vans, laying the infrastructure and then what bolts on the end of that infrastructure. And the other one that we're finding probably the most exciting is content delivery networks. And that they are essentially they are data centers, but tuned for video and audio streaming. So you think about Paramount Plus and Netflix, TikTok. They're streaming 4K live sports, some of these guys. So you need a lot of bandwidth. You can't have any lag. It's a lot of business for us at the moment, and it's only getting bigger. And that's the area that we think we're going to see the most growth.
Amazing.
And the way Wesco acts is we have a very broad portfolio. So for the AV integrator, for the master systems integrator, anybody pulling these solutions together, we can bring a full solution from the fence, the curb, to inside, everything, the infrastructure, the AV solutions, the safety, identity, access control solutions. And that's really, we see it as our obligation to be able to empower the end user, but also the integrators that are coming in to manage and deliver the services.
That's phenomenal, since now we're not working in silos anymore. Everything is converging. Right. Everything is interconnected. And in terms of control rooms and operations centers, those are also becoming more interconnected and data driven. So how is Wesco helping organizations modernize these environments, as well as particularly around visualization, secure networking, and ergonomics? Especially, during, ensuring scalability across regions in the industries.
It's the same way we approached the huddle space. We went from 40 rooms to 4,000. There is so much data that organisations need to look at. So the Security Operations Centre, the NOC, the Network Operations Centre, even the smart building, right? You've got sensors on everything. You want to know what the chillers are doing and what the lights are doing. That all rolls up. You've got to better view it somewhere. And we're seeing a proliferation of that. And we said before about Tara on the Megatrends board. One of the things they're predicting within 5 to 7 years that AI will allow for a dispersed room. So instead of having one big one, you'll have dispersed, but AI driven in the background. So it's growing like the huddle space, if I could use that analogy, does, and we underpin it with the same way we do it with our huddle spaces. So in terms of services and making sure that it's consistently put together and shipped out and supporting the channel.
Yeah, and I think, one of the mega trends that supports that is the evolution of the channel and the channel losing their boundaries, which again allows for new entrants, but most importantly for the traditional integrator to do and learn more things. So as things become more virtualized, the need for collaboration, the need for predictive insights, as well as real-time insights, and to collaborate and get to whatever the event is and respond in appropriate fashion. That's all technology-driven, huge opportunity for our industry.
Yeah, definitely.
It's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And perfect timing from both of you, as always, because we've come to the end of our segment. Which hall are you in if people want to come and find you here at ISE?
We're in 2. It's 2V. You know, Ben, I never remember.
That's why I asked you the hall. Just
I should prepare myself. It's 2V something.
Yeah, but I mean, people can see it, I'm sure. From, they'll see the big signs.
Yeah. And if they're not here, where can they find information if they're watching at home?
Wesco.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simple.
Fantastic.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, both of you,
Thank you,
for
guys.
joining us.
Pleasure.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.
Now it's time to go to the AVIXA virtual studio. You'll know him as co-host of the Tech Effect podcast. Joining us for the first time as our virtual studio host, it's the multi-talented and ever-flexible Pete Coman. Pete, did you write that intro yourself?
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate it. And no, I didn't write that intro, but thanks anyway. Look, today I'm joined on the AVIXA TV virtual production studio by Fabio Biccari, who is the CMO at VOOM and is a professor of CRM project management. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you very much. It's very awesome to me to be here today.
It's great to have you here. Fabio, everywhere we go, we're surrounded by screens. what can people do to make their digital signage stand out from the crowd?
Now, I think it's very crazy, it's very difficult. If we think about USA, in the USA, it's more difficult than Europe. In the Europe, we need to attract the people, but you don't find a lot of screen. But we think the market growing, and we need to create more interaction with the people. We need to do something more attractive and engage. This for that reason, I think we can understand how to make something new. And it's not only to the object, the hardware, but based on the creativity. And some example, I don't know, I saw before in the screen, is create interaction. The people think like we can make something 3D or something in the virtual reality, but you really think this product can engage when you try something like in a cartoon. I think we need to use something more easy, but engageable.
Okay, so you're talking specifically about the content rather than the hardware or the displays themselves, right? So get creative with the content, make it stand out.
Yeah.
Got it, got it. So tell me, what new technologies are you seeing that are being deployed that are transforming retail digital signage?
I have an example with the reverse engineering. Everyone in the digital signage know about the on-demand remote controller. Do you think if we give this stuff in the hands of the final customer, we have done something very, very nice in some retail store, when the people can go can scan the QR code and get the remote controller on these hands. What's happened? When you're going to click and share on the screen, you can see the video of the product, but from the model, and you can see a good face of this video, not a cartoon. You can see something nice and engageable. We don't need to make something very huge. We need something attract and work to finalize the conversion.
And what about integration? How can integration take digital signage to the next level?
The integration is the key now of the digital signage. In the first step, for the security, you need to do a full integration. Because sometimes we know something to the link, and also we need to adapt to the screen. I get you an easy integration like the PIM. Okay, till today, when you're talking about the marketing, or when you're talking about the integration, they think PIM with e-commerce store. But you need to integrate also with monitor, with video, to understand which kind of people, the cluster of people is in the store in this specific moment. You can change the communication. But to do this, you need to integrate everything. You cannot integrate only the PIM with the e-commerce. This is not omni-channel.
And what about management? How do you manage a large digital signage rollout? So like in a retail application, for example, that may have many stores across a country or across the world?
Oh, this is it's a very good point, because the retailer now don't have enough information to understand how to do this kind of stuff. They need to understand how they need to manage all the screen with one software. Sometimes they start to talk to buy one vendor, then growing with the store, buy another vendor, then another vendor. But you need one software to help you also with the budget to grow and have everything under control. This is very important, but it's really under control. You need to go deep in the hardware. And exists, like us, a software to make this kind of stuff, to go deep, to make the update of the hardware. And we need to make advocacy about this kind of stuff.
Yep. That's great. It's very insightful, very insightful. Fabio, really appreciate your time today here in the AVIXA TV virtual studio that we have, which is a beautiful studio.
Yeah,
it is.
Wow.
It's fantastic. Yeah, thank you again for your time. And now, it's time to throw over to Mark Metzger for an update on this year's ISE Hackathon.
So for the second year running now, Integrated Systems Europe has organized a hackathon event. And joining me to tell us a little bit about it is Pablo Vega. Pablo, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much, Mark. We're happy to be here as well.
This is great. Okay, so the second year of hackathon now.
Correct.
Tell us, what is hackathon and what makes the event unique here at Integrated Systems Europe?
Okay. Maybe the best way to describe a hackathon is to give you an analogy. And the analogy is, imagine a Formula One pitch deck, right? As you can imagine, in that pitch deck, what you have is very, very short time to act and actually get a lot of people with different specialties to work together to produce an outstandable outcome, right? That's what you get in the hackathon. The difference in here is you don't get to change the race, but you do get to change the AV industry future. And that's what we're trying to do.
That's very exciting. Okay, so what was the response like last year, the first year that we had tried it at ISE? What was the response like?
Well, last year what we did was we brought in some universities. In this case, it was mainly from Barcelona. But this year we were switching, and now we're inviting much more students from abroad. So this year we have joined more than 300 students actually signed up. Obviously, we cannot have 300 students, and we have more than 100 teams. This year we will be having 6 teams in each of the 3 tracks. One for sustainability, one for innovation, and one for cybersecurity.
Very cool, yeah. So what else is going to happen this year, maybe, that makes the event unique compared to the year before?
From the year before, obviously, we've got a lot of AI that is coming in. So some of the challenges do include how do you use and how do you leverage AI to actually bring up new solutions to the AV industry. That's one of the main challenges that the students are going to be facing with. And obviously, being international this time with more than 70 nationalities and more than 22 countries coming from abroad.
Okay, so if a company wanted to get involved with Hackathon at next year's event, what are some of the ways that they could help support?
Well, maybe the best way to support it is actually to talk to ISE and become a sponsor. Sponsors, what they do is that they actually manage to set the challenge, and then they engage with students, so they actually listen from the future, right? And they listen to the needs of the future, and they also get new ideas that maybe they will not actually get in their common offices. So I think this is the best way to do it, is to talk to ISE and maybe sponsor the event.
The event begins on Thursday, correct? And
Correct.
It doesn't end until Friday, is that right?
Correct. It begins on Thursday morning at 8 o'clock. We will actually release the challenges because they know nothing about it. And then for 27 hours, including nights, they will be working to actually deliver results midday on Friday.
Wow. So not a lot of sleep?
Not a lot of sleep, no.
Well, hope you can get some rest. Thank you for helping to organize the event. Really looking forward to seeing it, and thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Well, as always, such a great little video from Mark, so thank you so much for that. And we are now joined by Ken and Sebastian from Telestream, a new partner of ours at AVIXA TV, and who've helped us with the AVIXA studio. So thank you both so much for taking the time to stop by. And I also understand that this is your very first time to ISE, so you got to tell us, what do you think? Tell us a little bit about your experience here.
I mean, for me, it's just been incredible to come over to Barcelona to see all the new technology and to just get a sense of the scale of the show. It's massive, and it's really nice to see so many familiar faces and vendors in this area.
Yeah, I mean, so far has been great. I mean, to see all together and with different industry and different sectors meeting at a single point. That's really a unique experience so far. So it's been great.
Wonderful. Well, definitely glad to have you here. You still have some more time to walk the show floor and get a little tired and see all the wonderful solutions out there. So fantastic. So as I had mentioned, you are one of AVIXA's newest partners. And we're very excited to have that. So you've been working a lot behind the scenes here at AVIXA TV. So can you share with our audience a little bit more about Livestream and what you've been doing to help support this fantastic show?
Yeah, Sebastian, would you like to take it?
Yeah, I mean, happy to to help and accelerate the global reach, mainly to improve the production and as well as the quality, because consumer expectation increased a lot on the past years, and they are expecting high quality and fast turnaround overall. So we are really focusing on that and helping the event to be successful.
Wonderful.
Good stuff.
Did you want to talk a little bit about the convergence of what's going on here?
Everybody wants to talk about the convergence. So, I mean, this studio is a perfect example. This event, this show, what we're doing right now is we've got lighting being controlled by DMX. We've got Dante providing audio, typically things that would be used in in-room experiences. We've got a live audience. We've got cameras provided by broadcast manufacturers. All of these things are operating right here together, and this is proof that it's not just coming, it's already happened. So when we look at this, that's taken completely out of the rest of it, the idea that all of this content has to go somewhere, it has to be cut up, it has to be edited, it has to be prepared for social media, and that's a lot of data, a lot of information that people have to deal with. So this is a perfect example of that convergence.
Yeah, for sure. And staying on the topic of convergence, how do you see the convergence of the Pro AV broadcast and IT impacting the industry, and what new opportunities do you think it creates for organizations?
So realistically, I think that it is IT that's been the driving factor for both of these convergences to occur. So both IT and Pro AV have been working together for a number of years, as well as broadcast and IT. And it was only natural that they would begin to speak the language of IP and be fully immersed in it, so that there would be fewer barriers, so that these immersive events can take place.
Absolutely. And I think if we've learned one thing from this week, a lot more companies are integrating video into their organizations, and it's just playing a bigger role each and every day in how they communicate to their audiences. So what challenges are you seeing, or what changes are you seeing in the demand for that advanced video solutions across spaces like corporate communications and houses of worship and other sectors as well?
I mean, realistically, it's all content. Everything that everyone is producing is content, from a YouTube streamer all the way through to your network events. It's all content, and we've almost become conditioned to expect 4K quality, high quality lighting, clean edits. You know, the democratization of those technologies and the ability to share that content is really what's pushed this forward, in my opinion.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if we look at the young generation, they expect everything now, like quick and high quality as well. They don't want to wait because of, I mean, the overall IT providing really all the different platform easy access. So for us, it's really a key point to focus on a multiplier into production and global reach. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. I know I can speak for on behalf of our production team at AVIXA when I say that we've seen firsthand how the partnership with Telestream has significantly enhanced our content distribution efficiency. But can you speak to how your solutions are able to enhance live streaming experiences for both production teams and the audiences?
Yeah, of course. So for what we're doing with the AVIXA television studio is we are capturing this content live right now via a SRT stream, and the editors back at home are able to immediately go in and start doing clipping using some of our technologies to be able to immediately post this content without having to ingest it into an editor, without having to start to look at all of these different steps in the process. So it gets the content out quicker, and it helps the team move faster.
And yeah, we've definitely seen that firsthand, and it's a special shout out to our friends in the production team who are doing that right now as we speak. Definitely. So we really do appreciate how that is expediting that process. So since we have you here, we would love it if you can walk us through a real-time demo. We love demos here on AVIXA TV. And just show us how these tools work in action and how it helps to provide a really more enhanced and higher quality product.
Sure. So if we would be maybe something like this. So we've got a waveform vector scope that we're looking at what the image is as opposed to what it objectively should be. Now, if we're talking about an LED wall, maybe we need to calibrate the LED wall using tools like these to make sure our reds are red, our whites are white, that the luminance, when we're moving from the camera and shooting on the wall, maybe the LED wall is a little bit too bright, so we're overexposing for the LED wall when the rest of the set is maybe underexposed. So things like balancing, things like making sure that the image is what you expect it to be, because if you don't get it right when you're initially doing it, it becomes much harder in either post-production or color correction, and having to move through those processes, you lose time, you lose efficiency, and frankly, in something like a live stream, you can see it right off the top where maybe it just doesn't look right to your eye because you're on a monitor that is using a different color scale.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really, truly, honestly, quality of experience and quality of, quality of experience.
Yeah. No, it looks fantastic. I know, Ken, you've been with us here at the TV studio for most of the time this week, so hopefully you'll continue to base yourself here while folks are coming around. If they do come over, would you encourage them to pick your brains and sort of like ask all about the technology we've got here?
I mean, I'd like learning, and I really enjoy watching the show, so I hope, no, I'm kidding. It would be great.
Don't bother him, don't bother.
Please stop by, say hello, find us here. We are able to have conversations about how these technologies are integrated into the studio, why we're using them in a certain way. And the nice part is you can go behind the wall and actually see them in action. So it doesn't have to be a theoretical discussion anymore. You're seeing why people are using these tools right on this set.
Good stuff. Hands-on experience. I think that's the best way to learn, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just the beginning.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, you said it. I mean, it's so many exciting things to look forward to as we continue this journey together with Telestream and AVIXA TV. So, yeah, Ken and Sebastian, thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now we are going to head back to the virtual studio, and it's Pete Coman. So take it away, Pete.
Thanks, Ben and Sam. Exciting to be on the TV side of the production. Were you looking around?
Well, it's a beautiful
it's pretty
studio.
amazing,
It's
isn't
spacious here. They give you the first-class treatment here. I love that.
Well, that's, yeah, well, you know.
You're worth it, man.
That's how we roll here at AVIXA TV.
I appreciate that. Okay, thank you.
But we want to welcome everyone to the final verdict, where I get to cross-examine some of the best minds at ISE, and today's defendant is Craig Durr from the Collab Collective. Welcome to the studio, Craig.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It is a great opportunity to see if I can beat the master. How about that?
It's not about being correct. We've got to abide by the law.
Okay,
right?
we'll do that. I appreciate that.
This
Okay,
is
good.
an official court. Okay. I feel like I should be more dressed up, and have a gavel.
I know. Okay.
But
am I the defendant, or am the one on?
Well,
am I on trial?
Let's see. Yes, you are on trial. Yes. Well, Craig, as AV and IT continue to converge, what should integrators be doing to stay relevant with IT decision makers?
God, that is a really interesting thing. It's a challenge, right? I think what we're talking about is the idea of a skill set change. I mean, you've got to be able to talk IT language. Security is important. Networking protocols are important. A lot of this AV is going over IP. My position is you need to embrace this and make it part of your vernacular, part of your outbound. It's important.
Shouldn't they just focus on AV and let the professionals
yeah, I mean, you could make
all that?
You could make the position. I'm not going to say you're arguing with me. I'm saying the position.
I am the judge.
That you should stand off. No, I think you need to be expansive. I think you need to grow your conversation. You got to be able to talk, and it's got to be legitimate. We're not talking about just being able to have the first one or two sentences in the conversation. You got to be able to understand that. I think it's an investment in understanding more about those IT-centric concerns in an AV world.
But they don't have the skill sets.
That is the challenge. I agree. We're all on a growth curve. My fellow brethren, we need to become better at what we're talking about here in terms of AV, IT coming together.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with that one.
All right. Okay. I'm sitting on the fence with that response.
Okay.
But Craig, with hybrid work patterns stabilizing, what's your outlook on the demand for purpose-built meeting rooms versus more flexible, bring your own device solutions?
Let's break this down for everyone to understand. We're talking about like an appliance type device, MTRW, Microsoft Teams Room Windows, or appliance-based, like versus BYOD,
yes,
which is the laptop plug it in. My research shows that BYOD devices, as sometimes they are the scourge of both IT and facilities, is still important. I think you need to be able to talk about those because, true, okay, they're probably lower margin, they're probably lower interest and more transactional, but they serve a very important purpose. They help fill a gap in the space of a more ubiquitous video experience across all that office space.
So that works until it doesn't, until everyone walks in with their laptop, leaves their microphones and their speakers on, and then
you're right.
It's a complete mess.
And it is, but here's how the industry's stepping up. This is why they're bringing things like managed BYOD endpoints that are networked, and I can have visibility into it. Again, I mentioned Microsoft once. They're doing things that they can pull data from a BYOD situation once you plug in with your laptop. So there are challenges there, but I do think you have to embrace BYOD as part of what customers want, and it might be appropriate what they need too.
Still not convinced.
All right, I'm trying.
What capabilities or business models should AV contractors be investing in now to maintain relevance in the next 3 to 5 years?
What skill sets should they be doing? I'm going to reflect back on my first answer here.
Okay.
We are becoming, and we need to embrace the idea, we're in an IT-centric world. And so instead of, things like pulling cable were always separate, but that's becoming available to the electrician to do. I think you got to be able to talk into the network operating center and those skill sets. Managing networks, VLANs, WLANs, things like that. I think the skill set they need to do is become more IT-centric, especially as things such as security start becoming gatekeepers to AV devices being installed.
Craig, I'm still not buying it.
Oh, come on.
I have one more question for you.
All right.
I have one more. One must go. Ketchup, mustard, or relish? What are you taking off?
Who wants chopped pickles on their hot dog? Let's get rid of the relish. Relish must go.
I think that's about the only thing that I'm going to agree with you on.
Thank you so
on
much.
The final verdict. Craig, thank you for your time. We really appreciate it.
That.
And next up, Mark had we're time to cross to Mark Metzger for an interview with one of ISE's keynote speakers. Let's check it out.
Well, I'm joined now by Sol Rashidi. She is one of the keynote speakers here at Integrated Systems Europe 2026. Sol, thanks for taking a minute to stop by.
Hello, thank you for having me.
For our audience who is not here at the show, watching globally, what can people expect from the keynote later this afternoon?
I think my perspective is a bit different. I'm not a professional speaker. I'm not an advisor. I don't make my money off of selling products. I'm not a part of a vendor. I'm fundamentally an operator. It's fingers to keyboards. I've spent the past 15, 16 years deploying artificial intelligence at scale. So today we're going to talk about 4 key things, right? Just the state of AI, the stuff that's not really shared or isn't necessarily available in public. So I'll go behind the scenes on some of those things. The second is how we even got here, a little bit of context, anthropology of like the state of AI and why we are where we are. Some lessons learned, right? Folks are still learning and earning and figuring it out. And everyone's on the spectrum of where they are is quite vast and different. But right now, the pivot from POC to production is proving to be challenging for many. So we'll talk about the lessons learned and the reasons why. And then the last, and probably one of my favorite subjects, is not just around security and governance, but how do you stay relevant in the future? We often talk about Workforce 4.0, workforce preparation, but this is going to be whether as an employee, as a community member, or as a parent. How do you stay relevant and how do you prepare yourself for the next 2 to 3 years?
Yeah. Well, I think it's fascinating also because, AI is it's the topic of conversation all over the place, but beginning to unpack the ways that people are actually utilizing it, the implications for AI. These are discussions that we need to be having as an industry right now, correct?
100%. And I think there's just such a push to become AI literate and have fluency. But remember, it's a double-edged sword. I always say that, great, if you're going to use ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok, it doesn't matter your tool of choice. That's table stakes. But when you start developing the sophistication, you have to make sure that you're outsourcing tasks and not your critical thinking, because it is just so easy to be able to copy and paste the outputs of these large language models in like in a PowerPoint or in an email. But there is a philosophy around intellectual atrophy. Use it or lose it. Our brains are muscles. And so whether it's with younger generations or whether it's for folks in the workforce who are just trying to keep up with their to-dos, when they've pivoted past resistance and then they're in experimentation, and when they've pivoted past experimentation, then they pivot into reliance, that's where the double-edged sword begins. So what are some just practical frameworks and mental models? And my big takeaway for everyone is no matter what, just make sure critical thinking and discernment never dissipate in the age of AI and with all these remarkable capabilities available to us.
Yeah. Well, best of luck with the keynote. Hope it goes really, really well. And thank you so much. Again, hugely important topic for our industry to continue to discuss. Really appreciate you taking the time to stop by.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Great. Back to you.
We're now joined by Yannick from Barco and Christoph of Sennheiser. Yannick and Christoph, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
How are you enjoying the 4th day of ISE so far?
It was really, really fun. Typically, you have like for a couple of quieter days, but it has been from the first minute until just before I entered the studio here, extremely busy on our booth. So, really great show.
Yeah, it's been mega busy for us as well. So I think strategically we are placed near the entrance for the subway.
Yeah,
for the metro. So people are commuting.
Yeah,
which gives us lots of people.
Good visibility, great placement, wonderful.
Yeah, and I hope you've had comfortable shoes, because I've been by both of your booths and it's just been non-stop. So yeah, hopefully your feet aren't suffering too much.
My boots are made for hurting.
Well prepared, well prepared.
Good. Fantastic. Well, I know that this is a big, big moment for ClickShare. You guys are essentially going from table to the room. And I know for over a decade, ClickShare has been known for, bringing your own devices into the room. And now we're going into, a bigger room system.
Exactly.
So what's changed in the market that's making that shift for ClickShare and to really go fully into that full room system?
So indeed, as you said, it's for us really an important milestone into the journey of bringing simplicity in every meeting room. As you said, we are famous for wireless presentation and also wireless conferencing, bring your own meeting, as we call it, for hybrid meetings. But last year in June, we announced that we also enter the room systems and then room system market with the ClickShare Hub. And then last couple of months, or it's more than a year maybe, Christopher, we were working closely together with Sennheiser and also Microsoft to put into the market the first modular MDAP-based room system. So it really combines the simplicity, the flexibility of ClickShare, modular, and bringing the button into the meeting room. And then also having the room system. Why did we go to that market? Because there's that strong request from IT managers to have standardization in the meeting room and also high levels of security. So the new ClickShare Hub is based on MDAP, Android-based, but with a very nice flavor of security by Microsoft. So there were lots of different elements into that new full solution. Security of MDAP, modularity, flexibility, simplicity by the button. But especially the flexibility, it makes sure that we can work together with very good alliance partners in the AV space so that our customers can choose perfect AV equipment for the meeting rooms, and that's why we were together with Sennheiser. So the ClickShare Hub in bundle with Sennheiser is the first certified solution. I'm very happy that we could announce that a couple of weeks ago, but first show it at ISE here.
Wonderful.
Yeah, perfect timing on that.
Yes,
that front.
exactly.
Thank you.
So in one sentence, how would you describe the ClickShare Hub to someone who thinks that Barco only does wireless sharing?
Okay, indeed, it's so very easy that when I give a demo on the booth, the demo is done like in just 2 seconds. It really removes the friction of sharing very easily your content into a hybrid meeting. So think about you're in a meeting room and you start your call like in any MTR-based room solution, joining the call on the tablet. But what if you want to share your content? Typically now use case is that you, as with your laptop, you need to dial into the call. But with the ClickShare button, you just simply enter the button into your laptop, you press the button and you share. So you share into the room, but also directly into the call. So imagine if you have a guest in your meeting room, you no longer need to dial into the call, invite them on the network. Any laptop, you just put it into the USB-C. It's also DisplayPort enabled with which means that guest or any employee doesn't need to install any software on the laptop. So it's really, I think my explanation is much longer than actually sharing. So it's that simple. And I think that's really unique in our space.
That's a good tagline. By the time you finished explaining what it is, you could have shared it 10 times.
Meeting should have been done already, exactly.
Oh my gosh. And I know, yes, people are participating in those meetings. Simplicity is key because, yes, the more difficult things are, you know, people just kind of give up.
Exactly. And I think that's still what the basic philosophy from back into 2012 when we announced the wireless presentation. We said in a meeting people should focus on the content, on the discussion they want to have, whatever. They should never worry or have stress about the technology. Technology should in fact disappear, to be worry-free.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know we were mentioning that ClickShare Hub is now one of the first room systems built on Microsoft's device ecosystem platform. And that feels like such a meaningful step for you guys. Why is that partnership such a big milestone for Barco, and what does it really enable for your customers?
So it gives, I would say, the comfort that it comes with high security levels. I think that's the main element, and it will also bring future developments that we do together with Microsoft, future releases. So we completely switched from platform, from a Linux-based to MDEP-based, and I think that's the key message. Yes.
Wonderful.
And why was Sennheiser the right first audio partner for ClickShare Hub, and what does this bundle unlock for the customers that they couldn't easily achieve before?
Well, so we always say, well, ClickShare is about simplicity, but also flexibility, and we want to give the end user the freedom to choose high quality audio and video equipment, and that's why we also wanted to rely on a good European partner. And give the word to Christophe.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. What we could add to the table is great sound. Like when I heard the bar for the first time, I was literally in a job interview at Sennheiser, and I was like, okay, so this is convincing. No, I think what Yannick alluded to is we are two European companies. The bundle is basically made in Europe, not like from a manufacturing perspective, but we made sure that things work. And this goes for the technical stuff, like we spent loads and loads of time on making things work and making sure everything was under a Microsoft spec. The Microsoft certification itself is a huge part of it. Like I think we started talking at InfoComm 2024. So just for people to get an understanding, like it's not you say hi to Microsoft and you get a stamp and you're good.
For sure.
But there's lots of work to be done. And yeah, it was just amazing to have a partner in our time zone. Proximity was super important. And yeah, shout out to the team. Great job.
Yeah,
wonderful. Did you want to talk a little bit more about that certification, what it entails, and what that
entails? Lots of things. Like people walking into a meeting, they would usually just start a meeting and talk and feel integrated in the meeting. But what's happening behind the scenes is like you need to meet certain latency specs, for instance. If the latency is too high, people will start just talking over each other, which is something we needed to make sure we don't have. Then also the whole MDEP thing was new for us, but also new for Microsoft, sort of. So lots of time went into actually figuring out how we could make the best possible solution for our customers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
a lot of new things in the mix, right? It's the modularity, MDEP, first time a button certified, and then there's lots of new things. So it was a journey for Sennheiser, Barco, and Microsoft, I think.
Wow, well,
that ended well.
Yeah, definitely. So if we fast forward 2 years, let's say, what do you hope that customers will say about how ClickShare Hub transformed their meeting rooms?
Well, something I always repeat, just the simplicity. I just don't want that end customers or people go to the meeting room like 10 minutes before just to get the stress out, to set everything up. I hope that in the short future you can go to meeting rooms like 1 second before. Hit the button and you start. That would be really wonderful, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I mentioned it on the show a couple of days ago already, but it's something that I always like to continue impressing on people, which is there was a study done in the higher education space, which was about the faculty using the technology and the average time it took for somebody to give up on the technology before they used the traditional sense. And it was like 10, 15 seconds, which is such a small time frame for people to get it right.
Exactly.
But it sounds like you are able to fit nicely into that time frame with the ClickShare Hub.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so I know a lot of organizations also, going off a little bit what Ben was just saying there, they want to strike the balance of standardization, so things are easy to use, but also to maintain that ability to be flexible as changes need. So how does ClickShare Hub help to do both of those things? Address that standardization piece as well as the flexibility component as well.
Well, if you look at it, ClickShare as a whole, our flexibility is that we are modular. That means you can combine it with your AV specialist, AV partner as you want, right? But also the flexibility to have always the same user experience in any meeting room, whether it's a room system, whether it's a BYOD system, which is just wireless presentation, it's always the button. So for us, that's really important. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, thank you both so much indeed for joining us. We hope the rest of your show is...
Thanks for
having us. It's a pleasure. We hope the rest of the show is as busy as it was, but you get some downtime as well. But yeah, no, that's really interesting. The world of meetings continues to evolve.
Yes.
So,
thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Now we're going back to Pete Coman in the virtual studio. Pete, what do you have for us?
Thank you, B-Meister. Appreciate that. Welcome back, and welcome to Tupac Mattia, right? Tupac is the founder and creative director for Satori Studios. Welcome to the AVIXA TV studio.
Wow.
You like it?
I like
it. Are you
it.
impressed?
I am impressed, yes. Nice Unreal World.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it? It's pretty amazing. Tupac, this isn't your first time at ISE. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and what brings you to the show this year.
So I consider myself an internet user, first and foremost.
Okay, like most of us.
Yeah, but people say that you are what you do the most.
Yes.
And so I am an internet user. I'm also an artist. I run a studio called Satori.
Okay.
And this is actually my first time at ISE in Barcelona.
Oh, right.
My last time I was the keynote speaker of 2019.
Okay.
Where I actually showcase how you could use virtual production in real time in spaces as part of my keynote.
Nice.
Yeah.
At the Rye in Amsterdam.
Yes, indeed.
Wonderful. So I believe you recently started a new podcast called the Glyph Podcast. Is that correct? What's a glyph? And, can you tell us a little bit more about what you talk about?
So glyph is any type of symbol or character that exists. You see it in like Egyptian pyramids, or you can see it maybe in Romans, or you can see it in all sorts of places, right? And so that's the glyph, because at the end of the day, the podcast is about all these people who you have no idea that they exist, right? And yet you've probably seen, heard, read their work, because they've actually gone through behind the scenes and created an entire element that you get to see normally without ever thinking about it. Like when Beyonce goes on stage, you don't think, who wrote the processor that runs that LED screen?
Yeah.
You don't.
Some of us do.
But there's a very clever human being behind it, or actually a lot of clever human beings behind it.
Yes.
And so that's the idea of the podcast.
Okay, so you're going behind the scenes to expose those people and better understand.
Correct, because I think it's important for this stories not to be lost, right? I have one podcast, for example, with Mark Ravenhill, another one with David March, who have been in that period of lighting, for example, when DMX got integrated.
Sure.
Who went from one type of desk to another type of light, so moving lights coming to space.
Yes.
And then, discharge, and then LED. And so those stories are important to know, because the only way that we're actually going to be able to make better products in the future is by understanding how things were made in the past.
Yes, love it. I love it. Is there anything that you've learned by creating this podcast, and was there anything that was unexpected?
Unexpected everything. So the first question that I ask everybody is, what did you want to be when you were 5 years old?
Okay.
Because there's not a single person that does the job that we do that knew what this meant to be when you were 5 years old.
Yes.
So everyone had a completely different dream, right?
Yes.
And some people wanted to be a truck driver. Another person wanted to be a Marine. Another one who I love says that if everything had gone correctly, he will now be a failed pop star.
Right.
Which is, I think it allows us to meet these people, but also to understand their stories. How many of the things that they have done have actually advanced the world that we live in today. Like, you know, one of them is one of the reasons why we have virtual studios.
Yes.
You know, he was one of the pioneers in putting all this data together. And, you know, so it's really important to see. I have one character, Gio Staiano, who is a photographer who shot pictures for for the New York Times.
Okay.
For fashion.
Really?
Right? But he will have main covers of the newspaper.
Yes.
But you would never have an idea that he existed.
Yes.
You never knew that he had to climb through 5 cases and jump around and like be on one to take that beautiful picture, right? That doesn't exist. And so having that idea is the idea behind Cliff.
I love that. I love that. I will be your next subscriber, that's for sure. And in your opinion, why are events like ISE so important and worth attending?
I think that the biggest problem that we have sometimes, you know, and when we go to like social media, is the silo in which we fall in, right?
Yes.
So I would never go into hole 2.
Right.
You know, I would probably stay in hole 6 or 7.
Yes.
And never
What
come
about
to
8?
the other side.
8.1?
8.1, yes,
Yeah,
yes. The forgotten toys, as we call them. But, you know, it's like, you will never go to those places. You will never see other types of technology that could influence the way that you design or the way that you do your work. And so having shows that are this size, having shows that combine so many different industries, allows you to see something outside the box of what you would usually try to see. Yesterday, for example, I went to a booth and I learned about electronic ink.
Oh, yeah, you haven't seen that before?
I hadn't seen it in the way that they had done it.
Right.
And immediately I thought, oh my God, for some of the things that we do, that they're asking us to be energy efficient, but don't have to run video, but can run and that's a perfect solution.
Yeah, I agree.
And so these are the kind of things that you walk away and you go, okay, that's clever for the next design, or that's clever for that thing. And sometimes there's people coming into me and saying, have you seen anything interesting? And I think, for me, no, but for you, there's this other thing that I've seen. And then you join the dots for everybody else.
I love it. I actually take the opposite approach. I never walk into hall 8.1 or the others, right? But you know what? I'm about to change. I'm a change man, and I'm actually going to take your advice, and I'm going to embrace new experiences.
Just remember, like Michael Jackson said, it starts with the man in the mirror.
Love it. Love it. I love it. All right, Tupac, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, guys.
AVIXA TV in our virtual production studio. Now, we're actually going to go to a video that Mark and I went to. We actually experienced a fantastic university right here in Barcelona. It's the La Salle University, which is a technology-rich university. And there's a little video that we want to play you so we can show you what we found.
G'day guys, Mark the Bearded Tech Skiing coming to you from ISE 2026. We're about to get on a bus to go to La Salle University on behalf of AVIXA TV. Now, La Salle is not just teaching technology, they are living and they are breathing it. So we're about to get on this bus, let's get over there and we'll see what they're doing for the future of the next generation of technologists. Let's go.
Welcome to La Salle, Universitat Ramon Llull, our campus here in Barcelona. We try to bridge the gap between technology and humanities.
So as you can see here, we teach the principles of virtual production, which is obviously not only the green screen, we also have a camera which is synced to an Unreal Engine machine.
This is where we make this post-production, final post-production. We use here DaVinci Resolve, which is a software from Blackmagic. I will take the advantage of being here to show you a little bit of our work, of our students' work.
Here, what we do is to study how the sound is traveling, particularly in, so for example, in the architecture studies.
Well, you can feel in your ears. Some of you have pointed out that when you came in, you felt like a weird sensation on your ears. This is because this room absorbs all sound waves. So when you step in here, all the sound made inside this room gets absorbed by the walls, the ceiling, and the floor.
This sound system, it is a 7.1.4 sound system. It is also calibrated in Dolby Atmos, and this studio is mainly used for research purposes and also for academic stuff.
The tech tour concluded with a stop inside the immersive room, and all I can say is wow, our jaws just hit the floor. A big thank you to Rosa Maria and La Salle for hosting us on the tour, as well as ISE for hosting and organising. We loved it, it was just amazing, and it got a big tick from us.
Now that looked like a really cool tour. I want to go and check that out for sure while I'm still here in Barcelona.
Yeah, definitely. No sound waves, no echo. Can you imagine? Only your own thoughts.
I don't know if I really want to hear those reverberating.
I don't want to go there.
Awesome. So now we're thrilled to be joined by our booth partner, AI Media, Adrian Britton. Welcome. Thank you so much. Now we're going to talk about all things caption. So thank you so much for joining us. How are you enjoying ISE? We're getting close to the end of it. How have things been going?
Good, Sam. Good. It's been a long strive getting us here, but yep, we're on our final stretch. Excited and motivated to knock it home. Yeah.
Absolutely. Nice. So we're seeing obviously a lot of overlap between broadcast and AV right now. And from your perspective, what trends are really driving that convergence, and how is AI Media helping to adapt in meeting those changes?
Sure. So we're here demonstrating on our booth a product that we call Lexi Voice. Basically, it makes language transparent. So in real time, it's taking audio in one language, and it's providing the audio back in a second language, and there's 100 languages spoken. So that has applicability in the broadcast space. Obviously, people are bringing content and moving it around, but it's also as equally important in the event space, in the live entertainment space, anywhere where multiple people are meeting and trying to converse when necessarily there isn't one language between the two of them.
That's so cool.
Yeah, definitely. And I know, obviously, convergence is a big topic at these shows, and a big part of that convergence is the ability to reach wider, more global audiences. So you mentioned the product there, Lexi Voice. How does that help organizations localize their content and expand into new audiences and markets?
Sure. So, I mean, let's just pick a sporting context, because I quite like this one. We've got a baseball team who have invited in a guest's team from overseas, in this case Korean team, and they wanted to bring that content back to Korea, but the commentators were all English speaking. So you're running through Lexi Voice, the product, the commentators speak, in real time you're getting now Korean spoken audibly back out with some passion, so the Korean audience is now able to localize that game that was effectively being played halfway around the world from them.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, and especially considering there's a couple of, sporting events that are happening this week, next week. I can absolutely see how that solution is really going to be helpful in tying everyone together, in terms of communications. And we've been so happy to have you here at our AVIXA TV booth, and you're really helping to enhance our fabulous show. So if you could share a little bit about what you're doing in order to support our show here, and give us a little behind the scenes look at what AI Media is doing in partnership with AVIXA TV.
Sure. So here we are in Barcelona. There's multiple studios that are running. The signal that's coming from here is being live translated into 2 languages. I believe German and Spanish are our destination languages at the moment. That's a huge consortium of people that are helping work. Obviously the behind the scenes tech team at AVIXA TV, our friends at Amazon Web Services, our friends at Ross Video. Everybody's taking their part of that signal flow and bringing it back into a new language. So we're delivering to our home audience, your home audience, an experience that is fairly close to real-time translation of my voice, your voice, but into the German and into the Spanish world.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so, and I know AI Media has traditionally been known for accessibility, but we're also seeing a shift toward more commercial and sort of monetization-driven use cases. How are you evolving to support that broader business opportunity?
Yeah, so the business through the EEG brand has been synonymous with television studios across the world. A large number of the television outfits across the world have had the hardware associated with the EEG brand for years and years and years. The primary value that hardware gives is captioning, either the captioning that was originally provided by humans re-speaking, or increasingly, and in fact now exclusively, AI-generated captioning. That caption text is being translated into into the second language, or the third language, or the fourth language. So that's increasing accessibility for maybe people that don't have that language as their primary language. Also, if you're traveling in a train or a bus and you don't want to have headphones on, being able to read captions helps improve your viewing experience. So you've got the ability to read captions, the ability to show translated text, and now increasingly with Lexi Voice, also the ability to take that content and move it into a different region. Now, that changes from being an accessibility story to being a monetization story. So say you own the rights to something in a certain region and you can run the advertising for that in that region. If you own that rights and you're now translating it into a new language, that is a whole new advertising opportunity that you have ahead of you. You've got a whole new market, and every slot is now accessible to you in a different region to monetize that through. And imagine the experience as well. I kind of speak English, and we all speak English.
We have a go at it.
Yeah, we try our best.
But if I was a fluent Japanese speaker and I only spoke Japanese, we could use that tool set to help break down this experience that we're all having here.
Incredible.
And that's a commercial use case. It's not an accessibility use case. But by breaking down language barriers, all these different ways of making money, making more value out of the content that you own, making more monetization possibilities, it's all ahead of you.
Yeah.
And absolutely, organizations, they're always looking to monetize things, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? That is their business models. So on the enterprise side, obviously we're seeing more and more organizations incorporate, more broadcast-like environments, obviously, to communicate with their customers and provide just, better quality productions in doing so. So how do your solutions support that shift and help teams deliver higher quality broadcast style experiences in those spaces?
Yeah, so we have a very simple box. I've talked a lot about the voice side, so we're talking about a different product here. So we have a very simple box that we call the Lexi Viewer box. Give it a video signal and it will make that video signal 75% smaller on the screen and just provide captions or translations along the bottom of that. Very plug and play, very good for a town hall, an AGM, or any point in time when you're trying to talk to a bigger room. Doesn't have to be end state, doesn't have to be for TV. You could be talking to an entire room with it, and it's just a plug and play little box.
Yeah, definitely. I can
convenient.
Certainly imagine that. So looking ahead to the next wave of live production and media experiences, what excites you most about where AI-driven accessibility and language services are headed?
So we'll be making some big announcements over the forthcoming shows, obviously, as you would expect. So I can't talk too much about that. But let's just talk about how different amounts of passion can come through in a voice. So at the moment it is a emotive voice, but it's always going to be an emotive voice if set that way. As we've been talking, these passions have been coming up and down in our language, and being able to be more human-like in the way that the passion comes and flows and ebbs will probably become present in our product fairly soon, along with a whole load of stuff that I can't share, but it'll be very cool.
We'll be waiting with bated breath.
Yeah. Maybe at the Infocom show.
Yes, hopefully.
Get some scoops there, maybe.
Definitely in June.
Yeah. Adrian, thank you so much for sitting down with us, for spending the time. If people want to find you here at the show, where can they do that?
Yep, so we're over in Hall 4, booth 700. Come and say hello.
Will do. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the show. Now let's head over back to the virtual studio and see what Pete Coman is up to.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Sam. Welcome back to the virtual TV studio, and I'm joined by my very good friend, my partner in crime, Mark, the bearded tech skiing. How are we doing, Mark?
Good, Pete. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get the intro that of the great minds in tech like that you gave to Craig Durr. But
well, I mean, there is, a bit of a gap between you and Craig, but,
miles ahead.
If only. Mate, look, obviously we are no strangers to a trade show, a technology trade show, and we're no strangers to ISE.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
What people always want to know from us is, what did you see?
They look to the great minds, just to recap, the great minds in tech for what's new in tech.
That's right.
At the shows. Look, Pete, I think we've got 3 or 4 products that we can.
I mean, there's so many. There's 1,700 plus exhibitors out there on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah,
how do we narrow it down?
How do you choose them? Yeah, look, I think we both loved the new CamTrack from Inagenie.
Yes.
That was CamTrack and CamTrack Pro. Device agnostic, camera switching.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it's a director in a box.
It's a director in a box.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So
that should be a new slogan for them. Maybe I could trademark that, director in a box.
Yeah. Great idea. Go and see if you can get some money for it. So they had the Camtrack Pro 8, which bought 8 cameras, network cameras.
Well, the Pro does 12, and the standard one does 8.
Yes.
And yep.
Yeah, so you can bring them all in, device agnostic, so you could use a PTZ optics and a, I don't know,
Well, you use
bird
any
dog,
camera,
anything.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like
Bring 'em all in.
NDI, as long as it's a network
Canon, whatever.
IP streaming camera, you can bring that in.
Yep.
And then they also had the IP to USB, so that was doing the conversion from, say, NDI over to USB to bring it into your codec. So you might have a PC in the room or some Android device that you can add additional cameras to.
Yep.
But they want to come in via USB. So that was cool.
Yep.
What else?
Look, I think the big aha, and it was funny to watch your face at the time. We stopped by our friends at Sennheiser.
Yes.
And look, we're in a world of where the spectrum's just getting squashed.
Correct.
And
Well, it's getting sold off by governments around the world,
Yeah,
right? So
for telco and everything else around. So we need to get a lot more channels, mic channels, into the spectrum, and their new technology, Spectera. Was pretty cool tech.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Being able to just get, I can't remember the number. 256 is a number that comes to my mind in one RF channel.
Well, the thing that really blew me away was, and I got in trouble for saying receiver, so it's a
the base station.
Base station, right?
Yeah.
That can actually take up to 32 microphone inputs on there, and also has 32 outputs on it as well, right? Which is quite amazing.
All in
1 RU.
1 RU.
1 RU. No, and even better,
the antennas.
no coax.
No coax.
No more coax. No more coax. All right.
It's killing me,
Let's
Pete.
keep moving.
You know how much I love my coax.
Times are changing.
Times are changing.
All right.
Yeah.
Planeo.
Yeah. Look, an orchestrator of meeting rooms, I suppose. So for
bunch, as we call them, a bunch of meeting rooms.
A bunch of meeting rooms, as we would say. Yeah. So look, it brings everything in. It's a small little device. You bring in your approved microphones, displays, and everything else. It just pre-configures it. It manages it. If there's any issues, it goes out and it'll do first level tech support and reconfigure, sort it all out. Easy to deploy, easy to scale. Look, and then it's got Room OS, or Planeo OS, I should say, which is in the cloud, which is a whole lot of analytics as well that just keeps feeding back to wherever you want to be around the world.
Brings it all together.
Brings it all together.
You'll be out of a job with this product.
I could be out of a job, or I could just sell it. That would be easy.
Silicon Core.
Silicon Core.
They had an amazing 4K, 135-inch foldable LED, 0.7 millimeter.
They did, yeah. They did have
all in one.
Well, here's the thing: the foldable. You can see it on the screen here now. The foldable LED is not really new, but what is new is actually getting it to 4K.
Yes.
And then into 22-bit processing. So the color depth in that thing is like...
It's incredible, isn't it?
It's on point. So that was really good. You actually had a look at the Track-It at the Silicon Core
Oh, they had, the movable screens, that's right. So they were spinning around and doing some all fancy stuff, which is kind of cool.
Heaps of application for that, isn't there?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It was cool. And it's only day 3, and we've still got a whole day left to find some new products.
So fun. It's going to be great.
That's it. Look, that's it from the virtual studio. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to be with you today. Ben, Sam, back to you for the very last time.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Pete, as always. It's been so great co-hosting with you today and seeing all of your podcasts throughout the week. And it's really hard to believe that this is our last segment of AVIXA TV Live at ISE. But who better to join us and wrap everything up than Sarah Joyce, Chief Global Officer at AVIXA, and Wendy Griffiths, the Senior Vice President in Membership and Global Development at CEDIA. So Sarah, Wendy, welcome back to AVIXA TV on our last day of our live show. So we love having you here. And this is one of my favorite segments just to kind of wrap everything up.
Absolutely.
So ISE, it continues to raise the bar each and every year, and 2026 is absolutely no exception. So from your perspectives, what have been some of the most memorable moments and experiences that you've had on the show, from the show floor this year?
Well, I'm going to kick off having just come straight from the women's session. So we had the Women in AV Collective for the first time bringing together not only the AVIXA Women's Council, but also RISE, Women in Live Music and other groups as well. And I have to say it's the largest attendance that we've had at ISE so far, which is phenomenal. So a lot of strength and power in the room, a great keynote speaker, and a super panel session. So that's the sort of freshest thing in my mind in terms of thinking about community, who we've been bringing together, and celebrating our industry.
Wonderful. We love hearing that. Wendy?
And carrying on the theme of women, actually, we had a joint venture this year between CEDIA and ISE to drive some influencers from the interior design community to come along. They came along and spent the day at the show yesterday, and one of them's actually stayed behind to spend the day at the show today. And the excitement from that community about what's going on in technology. But I think a resounding statement that lasted with me is one of the women said to me before she left yesterday, one of the interior designers, she said, "I'm hoping you're inviting us again next year. If not, I'm coming by myself, because this gives me such an edge when it comes to interior design and working with clients, just to see what technology is out there and be able to implement it into the projects I'm actually working on." So that's worked really well.
Oh, that's incredible. And I think often big shows like this, you get sort of tied up with the sort of the big statistics, the thousands of people doing this and the tens of thousands doing that. To have those personal moments of feedback from individuals, I think must be really meaningful, right?
Yeah, it is, because if you think about the booths on the show floor, stands on the show floor, they've got the technology, and then you've got the people that are visiting it that are thinking about the technology and how it's going to be utilised. But the end user experience, I think that's where we really learn from, and how they would actually implement this technology in whatever environment they're working in.
Yeah, and I think that's where, for me as well, talking at the end users is such a key focus for the participants that are brought in, because if you look at the innovation that's taking place across all of the show, I very much can see a greater trend to showing solutions and experiences, and that's the draw for the end users, because they want to be able to see a solution, understand the products, they know the products, but to see the solution and to see so many of the exhibitors taking that focus, and very great shift in the design of their booths, just stunning, beautiful this year.
Yeah. Totally agree. So this year we've seen some major themes and discussions as usual, and they've been around topics including AI and the convergence across AV, IT and broadcast solutions, as well as future-proofing technology solutions as well. How do you see those themes evolving at ISE 2026? And were there any other standout trends that you feel really defined this year's show? Wendy, maybe you can kick us off.
Yeah, I think the convergence of AV, IT and broadcast has to me, it's come across a lot more mature and intentional this year. Certainly from a residential side of things, making sure that, again, the end user is being considered so that the systems that are being offered are simpler to use, easier to explain, and just thought through from a process perspective.
I think ISE set a beautiful mission with Push Beyond, and you can see that in everything that's being done. So in all of the examples you gave, I think if we look back to last year and now to this year, the innovation and the growth that's happened within where we're seeing AI deployment and a broader consideration around AI as well, and particularly the production focus and content focus, that for me with the broadcast AV, as Wendy mentioned, is lovely to see that sort of new market, that convergence of the broadcast space, the AV space coming together, and seeing some real growth and differentiation there.
And you're totally right about how those conversations mature as they go along, because I remember maybe 3-4 years ago when the AI conversation was just kind of really emerging, and to see year on year how it changed from fear to confusion to sort of accusing everyone of the AI washing, and then finally kind of getting to terms with, and all these people who had it in their products for so long and were finally starting to reveal feel that. It's incredible, yeah, how those conversations evolve.
Yes, we love seeing coming here to ISE and actually seeing everything that we've been talking about in the industry. It's tangibly here. You can go experience it, and it's just been a wonderful show so far. And one of the reasons we really love coming to ISE is to talk about, what's next. Let's forecast, what technologies are on the horizon. So as we look at a snapshot of where the industry has been, ISE is also helping to show us where it's heading next. So as we're wrapping up ISE, and you zoom out and you take a look at the whole entire week, what do you think this shows us about where the industry is heading next, and what have those conversations been like that you've had on the show floor that maybe give you a little indication of what's on the horizon?
I'm going to twist that slightly and take it from the generational impact I'm seeing and how that's going to shift and change how we think about technology, use technology, and also the development of technologies in general. And I think for me, what I'm seeing is a far greater number of young people coming into the show. We obviously have the focus with CEDIA. We have the Fast Forward Friday taking place tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. And that, I think, is about how we're bringing so many more young people into the industry and getting them aware of the vibrancy and what's available. And I think from that, once we start seeing a couple more years of the success that we've had over the last 3 years with Fast Forward Friday, we can always, bless him, we can call out Danny at Lang and use him as a wonderful example. But we're going to be losing count of the number of people that we can say that and talk about them. And why I love his story so much is, 3 shows ago, he came as an attendee, as a student, as part of the matchmaking that's happening tomorrow. He got a job at Lang. The next year he came as an exhibitor, and as you know, last year he came to Infocom America Latina in Mexico as a speaker. And he was overjoyed to be able to say within 3 years he's got 3 different exhibitor badges. And so he's our sort of poster young man for the potential that this industry brings. So I'm going to concentrate on the people and that work that's being done and what that's going to do and shift in the technology space in a very quick space of time.
Yes, Wendy, do you have any thoughts on that as well?
Yeah, my focus is more on the technology side of things, and I think things like cybersecurity on the residential side is a prominent technology we're seeing. I think it's driven by people wanting to feel secure in their home, having the knowledge that the data and how they're using their home is not going to intrude or become a security issue. So I think this cybersecurity side of things, we've certainly seen a lot around that, and it's a big focus for CEDIA as well. And AI is obviously the word that we're hearing out of everyone's lips at the moment, whether it's through implementation in businesses to be more effective. Because obviously the thing about ISE is it's not just a show about technology, it's a show about business, and it's those peer group, those really essential peer networking discussions where people are learning from each other and part of those learnings from each other about efficiency in business and making connections.
Nice.
And pushing forward.
We really can't underestimate the importance of community at this show. It is, of course, it's a technology show, but technology is about people. This is how people come to meet each other, do business, to network, to create opportunities. And I think that's another key space where we're seeing demographic shifts and changes and the potential to be able to be far more innovative in what we're doing through the groups that are meeting and the events that are taking place and the content that's being produced as well. That's driving a lot of very different conversations.
I think that's the common part between every sector that's represented on the show floor is the content part of it. So it's great seeing those collaborations and those discussions happening between the different sectors as well, not just focused within each part of the technologies.
A lot of crossover and a lot of solution driving.
Yeah, definitely. And from an association standpoint, what are some of the newer initiatives or priorities that you've been working on recently, and how have attendees and members responded to them this year here at ISE?
So from CEDIA's perspective, I mean, good engagement again with our education. We hosted a first ever standalone workshop on Monday, and that's driven around standards. So what our industry is always looking for from us is guidance and those opportunities for the advocacy around standards and recommended practices. So we hosted a workshop on RP32 this year, which is our new standard to do with audio, immersive audio verification. So that was really well attended and great to see the interaction with that. Big part of our strategy talks to my earlier point about the design and build community. We have huge advocacy work to do within that sector, the architects, interior designers, developers, realtors, specifiers, all these people, to tell them about what's possible in the home. So that's a big part of what CEDIA are actually investing in 2026-7, and including investment in resource as well. So I think those are probably the two of the key areas that are newer to us.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. And now as we're closing out ISE 2026 and we're looking ahead at the rest of the year, what are you most excited about for your members and the industry as a whole? And I'll direct that to you, Wendy.
I think the opportunities are there in things like the assisted living and living in home. There's no denying every day we sit here we get older, and so do the people around us.
Don't remind us.
And I think people want to stay in their homes longer.
Yeah.
So I think bringing technology into the home to allow people to be able to do that is something we've been discussing quite a bit here in terms of setting up working groups to set standards and recommended practices, etc. around that. So I think that's one of the key areas. And then I touched on cybersecurity earlier as well. There's a lot of education we need to do in that area as well, and guidance, notices, etc.
Likewise.
Yeah,
very strong.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you very much indeed for joining us and for being our final segment on the show. But before we go, Sarah, I believe there's some pretty interesting news in the works from AVIXA.
There is indeed, Ben.
Okay, so let's hand over to our very own Dave Labuscus for the big reveal.
Well, I'm joined now by a very special guest who has a very special announcement for us. We get to break some news here on AVIXA TV. This is pretty exciting.
It is. It is.
We've got Dave Labuscus, CEO of AVIXA. Dave, go ahead and tell us the news that was just shared publicly here in Barcelona at ISE, but for the rest of the world now.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I am super excited about being able to talk about Infocom Edge, which is the event that we just launched. It's going to be in October 27th and 28th in Dubai. And it's going to be something that I don't think anybody's ever imagined before. And I'm sorry you guys weren't here to be able to hear about it in person.
So, okay, so tell us a little bit more about why the name Edge and what's the thought process behind what makes this event different?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think actually pretty much can describe the entire event starting with Edge. If you think about what is an edge is a transition. An edge is a beginning or an end. An edge is something that gives us a visual reference point that things are changing, things are different. And if you think about our industry, one of the challenges we've had for a long time is the fact that our technology is brought into a project at the end of the project rather than at the beginning of the project. And, you know, everybody listening to this, we're all really adept at working within those kind of limitations. But what if you didn't have to work within those kind of limitations? What if there wasn't an edge that you had to fight? And if you used an event like an AVIXA event to be able to illustrate how you can move forward to where you're part of the specification, not part of the afterthoughts. So this event incorporates really three key audiences. It's going to incorporate the end user. Let's start with the end user, because the end user is the one that actually needs to realize the value of bringing us in faster. They don't realize it from looking at a lineup of products. What an end user needs to see is the outcomes. They need to see an actual implementation of the technology. Now, how are they going to get that? Well, they need an integrator to give them that. They need somebody to actually build that experience and demonstrate that to them. And finally, you don't have the outcome or the integrator if you don't have the technology producer. We call them manufacturers, but maybe some of them aren't even manufacturers anymore. They might be software developers, but they're producing that content. And we're explicitly targeting all three. So what we're going to do with this thing is issue tenders that are written by an end user council to integrators to ask them to provide a activation that illustrates potential outcomes. We're going to build it in 4 different themes. We're going to talk about government and enterprise. We're going to talk about hospitality, travel, leisure. We're going to talk about education. And the integrators will have an opportunity to actually create that environment, demonstrate what the control room of the future will look like, demonstrate what the hotel and the hospitality experience would be like in the future. Then actually deliver that, actually build it, and then demonstrate then, therefore, their vision, their capability, their ability to interpret and understand the clarity of the needs of the end user council, and deliver this experience that then VVIP end users are invited into, and they walk through this experience and they have opportunities to learn about content. The producers have opportunities to show their wares in other aspects and areas of the show. But the activations are brand agnostic. So when you come into the event from that community of producers, exhibitors, manufacturers, you're looking at how do you influence the conversation? How do you create a presence for your brand, a brand memory? And it's not a grid, and it's not a trade show, but it is, I think, an opportunity to really transform the world in an area in the world that is transformative right now. There's so much happening there. So it's this perfect alignment, in my opinion, of need, of opportunity, and delivering on a realistic example of the creativity of our industry.
Yeah, that's incredible. October 27th and 28th, right?
Yep.
Towards the end of this year. Last question for you. What do you say? People say maybe this is you trying to throw a retirement party for yourself in Dubai. What do you think?
Well, it's hard to imagine a better place to throw a retirement party. Yeah.
This is very exciting because, as you were describing, it's not another trade show. It's a different type of event that we were really trying to establish, and really exciting to see it come together. So
I can't wait.
Yeah, this will be great. Thank you so much for telling our audience all about it. A lot more information coming soon. Be sure to keep following us, and we'll look forward to seeing you in Dubai.
Awesome. Thanks.
Well, that is such exciting news, and what a great way to end our live stream today, Ben. I'm so excited. I've marked my calendar, October 27th, October 28th. Are you going to be there?
I mean, if they need a couple of people to run an AVIXA TV live stream, I think I know where I can find them. Although, at least I hope I get an invite to Dave's retirement party.
Oh,
that sounds good.
absolutely. It's gonna be a blast. And if we know Dave, hopefully he may sing. He's done that at a party or two before.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wanted that out there, but it's happened.
And that was just a Wednesday night. Imagine his retirement party. He's going to go big.
Oh, we've got to go big for him. And we've really loved him as our CEO and our fearless leader. So congratulations again to him on his next chapter at the end of this year. And with that, we're wrapping up our final day of AVIXA TV live at ISE. It's been an incredible week of conversations, innovations, and connections here in Barcelona. So thank you to everyone who joined us, shared their insights, and helped to make this week so memorable. And tomorrow, starting at 2 p.m. Central European Time, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, there is still a great lineup of podcast content that you won't want to miss out on AVIXA TV. But before we go, we really want to take a moment to recognize the incredible AVIXA TV production team working behind the scenes, from planning and coordination, production and execution. Their dedication, creativity, and very, very attention to detail, if only you knew, to make everything you see on screen possible. And we're also incredibly thankful for our partners, whose support and collaboration help take AVIXA to the next level and bring the excitement of the show that we're experiencing every day to all of you watching and listening from around the world. From all of us at AVIXA TV, thank you so much for watching, and we can't wait to be with you again real soon, hopefully in Dubai and,
that would
Las
be nice.
Vegas. But on behalf of Ben and myself, thank you so much for joining us on AVIXA TV live at ISE. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
G'day, I'm Pete Techman Coman. He's Mark, the Bearded Tech Skin, and we are the Tech Effect live from the AVIXA TV studio here at ISE 2026 in Barcelona, Mark.
G'day, Pete. You've done pretty well. You've spent a fair bit of time on camera today.
Yes, that's right. Yes, I have. Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, it's been really good.
It's good, mate. Did you see the LaSalle University Tech Tour video that got?
Absolutely. How good was the footage?
How good do we look?
How good was the cameraman?
It was. The AVIXA TV crew did a great job in condensing what was probably about 200 gig.
Oh my God, there was so much content.
There was
right? It's like,
content.
hey Mark, if you got a USB drive, like it's like, there you go.
Yeah. Thank God someone else was editing it.
But I have to say, like we saw that video for the first time this afternoon. Obviously, we were there, we were filming it all, and we had a lot of fun, and it was absolutely amazing. And like you said, we created a lot of content. But you never know what it's going to look like, you know.
Yeah.
And to his credit, we have to give credit to the sexiest man in AV.
Yeah.
Mark Metzger, the sexiest man in AV. He did a fantastic job filtering. I don't know how many hours it took him to go through all that content, and he did amazing. So that'll be up on probably on the AVIXA Exchange website very soon.
Very soon, and maybe a longer form somewhere along the line.
That's right.
There's a great interview there.
That's right.
Hopefully, that'll get a view from my mum and a view from yours.
Exactly. Exactly.
That'll be great.
and also, you'll see the content from the virtual production studio that we created this afternoon. Which had a lot of fun with the green screen.
So you've been there for a few hours.
Yes. Yeah.
What have you covered today?
Oh no! Look, we had Craig Durr from the Collab Collective. So he came on.
One of the smartest men in
Oh, I think he's trying to cut our grass. You know what I mean? Like he's doing a lot of this content, right?
Yeah, Craig.
Craig, just chill.
Got a bit of work to do.
Yeah. And then we had Fabio. Right, Fabio, who's a digital signage expert, right? So I interviewed him on the green screen. Who else? We had Tupac, who was very interesting and entertaining.
Guy. Yeah, he was a
at the
very
same
interesting
time.
guy. Yeah.
It's not often you have someone who's interesting and entertaining. Normally, it's one or the other. No,
I don't know.
Or maybe none.
I try to tick both boxes. He's an artist, though, isn't he?
Tupac?
Tupac.
Yeah. So he has a podcast, and he's a creative director. That was his title, creative director.
Broad term.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
These creative types, they
can't.
Yeah. Very special, very wonderful people.
Special breed.
Yes.
Aren't they, Pete? Yeah. You're the crickets. And when we got to do a little bit of a rap, tech rap.
They did a bit of a cameo, as well on the green screen, the virtual production studio, and it was amazing. It's just super cool what they can do, showcasing all the companies that, there are many companies that come together that partner with AVIXA TV to create this amazing studio.
I'm sure we'll cover this more tomorrow, but I'm always in awe when I come here to this studio and just go, the amount of work that has to happen against trying environment.
Yes.
We'll cover this more tomorrow, I'm sure, but they do a fantastic job.
Back to the show.
On with the show this week. Yeah. So, look, Pete, you've been pretty busy.
I have, yes.
Today, over
it's
there,
always a
and
busy
you've been doing
week.
some editing, and so I got to kick you to the curb. And
that's right. You got to see the show. I'm there.
Yeah, because we're always really day one, day two. We're really busy together.
Yes.
We're shooting. We do a lot of stuff. Today, you were editing, and I was just kicking, and then over here, and I was kicking around, having a bit of a
what
really
did you
good look.
see? You mustn't have known yourself without having this dead weight sort of.
Hey, Mark, come here. Hey, Mark, come here. Hey, Mark, come here.
Hey, do this, do that.
Yeah. Look, it's really nice. I was quite excited to get down here today and have a bit of a look. So
without me.
Yeah. I didn't say that.
I know you.
So look, big one for me. I loved it. I was looking for it. It was a new startup called NetSpeak AI.
So we bumped into, we actually had dinner with a couple of guys from NetSpeak on Sunday night.
Yeah,
with Craig.
and,
Craig Durr.
Dan and Sam, I think that, yeah.
Dan and Sam.
Dan and Sam.
Yep.
The two sort of product managers and sales guys for this product. Like, honestly, what an amazing product. To give you the
Tell me, I don't know
overview of what it actually is. It's a management and monitoring platform,
right?
Web-based, which is essentially an AI agent. So imagine ChatGPT,
yes,
the paid version, not the free version,
right?
That was 100% wholly and solely focused for the AV industry.
Okay.
That you could completely talk to, and it has its own internal, what they call an encyclopedia, their database of all the information that can go wrong. It doesn't go out to the cloud, as in it doesn't
on-prem.
On-prem, it doesn't go out to Reddit or ChatGPT or whatever to get the information. It's all full data.
Learnt internally.
Learnt internally and fed from the APIs of the manufacturers, like the Barcos, the Polos of the world, right?
Yep.
So all that. Imagine loading up, I don't know, 200 pages of tech support data, plus all the API information, all that information, and then sending it into this closed system, which is hosted in on AWS servers.
Yep.
And then being able to talk to it and just say...
What do you mean, like literally talk to it?
Yeah, well...
Oh, type.
Prompt it.
Yeah. Yep.
And just starts to go out and gives you the answers. So as a tech support... let's give
pointing to yourself when you say tech support?
No, I'm just the guy that talks a lot. No, but so the client might have an AV in-house AV team, yeah, and so they might get a first level support call.
Sure.
And it will be like, my ClickShare's not working.
Right.
Right. Like, that could mean a million things.
Of course.
The TV could be off, right? They just the client just knows
someone's put the dongle in their backpack and walked off.
Right. So this essentially goes, my ClickShare's not working, and it'll go out and it'll search all the ClickShares in the environment, and it'll go, which one? Oh, that one, boardroom, and it'll just essentially poll everything about it, and in that whole space and all the room, and it'll go, I can see that the TV's on HDMI 2.
Right.
Switching to HDMI 1. And everything's testing up fine. It'll do it for you. It's like a tier 1 support. It'll also go through and do some deeper stuff, but every morning it can do the whole room check. Room checks. Go out and say 99% of your rooms are fine.
Mm-hmm.
You've got 5 that had issues. I've fixed that for you.
Yep.
There's 1 that looks like that needs your attention. So go out there and it might have someone's pulled it out. And they did a demo of that. They pulled the ClickShare out of the power.
Yep.
And it said, I can't get to the ClickShare. It looks like there's some issue with the power or the network's down or something along those lines.
You're definitely going to be out of a job soon.
Well, here's the thing. I looked at it and I went, here's where the little integrators can sort of, that might be 3 or 4 man teams, can take on maybe a little bit more...
Right, a bigger client.
And support them well.
Yeah.
And it allows us, because we're always trying to find ways at edges, or essentially we're trying to find recurring revenue.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
Because as AV integrators, it's so project-based.
Yeah.
You get one done and you're fighting for the next one, right? And that's hard to manage cash flow. It's hard to manage a lot of stuff. So if we can get some support programs and SOAs essentially in place for areas where they, like K-12 environment for MySpace, they're not really used to this SOA in the AV space, right? So this service level per month thing, and we could actually do that without having to go to site. So I think it's a huge opportunity. I really like it. I mean, I said, I'm in. I just walked away. I'm in. Sign me up. Yeah, whatever I've got to do.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that was really cool.
I'm going to have to check that out tomorrow.
I think, look, it's such an AI play, but they seem to be well funded.
Well, we saw them, they were at Infocom.
Yeah.
They had a small little sort of booth. I remember walking past them. I didn't know what they did, but It sounds like it's a must-see.
So they launched here at ISE last year.
Oh, okay.
They were in, you know, the innovation lab. Or
the little booths.
Yeah,
oh,
and this year they've got their own stand. So they've come a long way in 2 years.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so kudos to them. And they've got some great people working for them now.
Yeah.
You know, to be able to get and sell that product.
100%.
100%.
Cool.
Now listen.
Yes, I'm listening.
Yesterday, we had a conversation around IFP versus projection.
Can I just say, anyone who's watching, all two of you, this is really unscripted.
Look, so to some degree we dissed projection a bit, right?
Yes.
Now today,
it has a place.
It has a place, and this is the point. Yeah. So today I was wandering around, dropped into the Epson stand.
Okay. And
lo and behold,
they had a projector.
You're doing it well. It's a great stand, huge stand, but they had an immersive wall.
Really?
They had built an immersive wall
using the snorkel lenses.
No.
What?
So it was on the floor. So shooting up.
Oh, okay.
Now it was essentially 3 projectors.
Yes.
Now I didn't get in to be able to talk to anyone to find out,
Sure, you were just walking past and you saw it and it caught your eye.
Yeah, caught eye. I took a photo. Went, that's really cool.
Nice.
So they're using Epson EB815.
Okay.
The black ones. It's quite wide.
Right.
And shooting up like this. Up onto the screen.
So it must have some form of snorkel-like.
It's an ultra short throw.
It's an ultra short throw.
Yeah,
okay.
and they're 5,000 ANSI, I think they are.
Okay.
So they're not 10,000. They're not lighting up the world.
I mean, normally an immersive space is relatively dark. Light is controlled.
Yeah. So then they had a wall, 3 walls essentially, diagonal. They were joint walls. So I don't know if there was edge blending processing in between, or whether I think the Epson projectors do a little bit of that on their own.
They do. No, they do. They have internal edge blending.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then in the past, I don't know what their current specs are, but I know that in the past that they've had like 100 points of correction. That was many years ago. So I'm sure they've probably
improved
1,000. Or whatever it may be, which is handy, especially when you've got a wall that's not flat or a curved wall. You need that.
Yep. Yeah. That's right. So. Look, it was good to go in there and see it and look at it and go, there is...
Projection's not dead.
Projection's not dead. Yep. And as I say, we dissed a little bit yesterday in sort of the classroom, but it absolutely has its place. It was great to see Epson do that wall.
Yes.
So I'm sitting there going, now you're sort of finding these creative places because you've got to.
Yeah.
It's innovation.
Yes.
And look, it was put together. I'm sitting there going, that wouldn't be not that hard to put it together for a good old integrator like myself that could just bang this together, right?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that.
How hard can it be, really?
Yeah. Famous last words. What else did you see?
Anyway, so I went and saw. I went and saw KRA. Now, KRA got I think 3 stands here.
I know they definitely had 2, right?
Yeah.
And the other day we were near them. They looked like they had a smaller...
a resi one in Hall 2.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah,
okay,
in Hall 2.
Right, okay.
But, and when I had a look at it, I'm looking at this box, right? And there's this snaky thing hanging out of it. And I'm like, what is that? And there's music coming out of it. And he looks at me, he's like, that's called the Anaconda. And it's a long snake speaker. What's this majigger? It's this.
That's the first time you've seen that?
That's the first time I've seen it.
It's pretty cool.
I'm going, this is really cool.
Yeah.
And then you can join them together and away you go. So
it's good for if you had a bar or something like that and you're trying to localize the audio, you can, like you said, you join them together. It's basically it looks kind of like rope, right? And you could put it on the underside of the bar.
Yeah.
No one knows it's there.
You sort of look at it and go, where's the music coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you join them together. And he said they're using them a lot in rental staging and things like that. So put them as front row fill.
Oh, yes. Yeah, because you don't... It's so true, right? You want to provide audio to that front row, but you don't want to blast them. So it's a really good supplementary solution. And for me, I love...
Have you used it?
I haven't used it. No, I haven't used it. But I love the innovation behind it. Right?
Yeah.
I love
It's clever.
the creativity.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer that audio should be heard and not seen.
Yeah.
Right. And I always try to make the technology disappear, and that a product like that helps me do that.
Yep. Well, absolutely, it does.
Yep. But it's not the only one.
But it's not the only one.
Yeah.
Great segue.
Well, only product that they have that's like that. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So so I was able to wander over to Hall 7.
Yep.
And have a listen. You know, the audio hall always gets the juices flowing.
Yes,
There's always someone turning up way louder than they're supposed to, annoying their neighbours, and then they go back and forth. But I got over to the KRA, got into the demo room.
Okay.
And they.
Is that in 7 or 8?
7.
7. Okay.
Yeah. So look, they've got a demo room on their stand in the hall.
Oh, it's on this. The demo is on this.
Yeah, on their stand.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I'm like, I was thinking about it. I'm going. I think more audio companies should do. I mean, there's limited space. I get it, but it's easy to walk into a demo stand.
Yeah.
You know, into a stand in that hall, in that audio hall, and walk into the demo there rather than walking up. You know, in those big spaces, especially if you've got something like KRA. So they had a 4-inch, it's called the Lizard, I think.
The Lizard is the little tiny speaker that just fits in your hand.
Yeah, it's 4 inches high.
Yeah.
And I think it's got 4 half-inch transducers.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, for the size of it.
Yeah, and then they had a sub supporting it up in the ceiling and did a demo on that.
We've done projects where we've had to put speakers in like whether it was, I can't remember if it was a court or we had to localize the audio.
Yeah.
It could be somewhere like a UN or a council chambers or things like that where you want to provide obviously a microphone to everyone, but you also want a speaker and you want to localize that. And especially like we were talking about, I think yesterday with AI media, and you've got translation and so on.
Yeah.
Does everyone really want to sit there with headphones on, or could you localize it with this tiny little speaker? You have to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
Like
He held it up, and I'm looking at it going, okay, well, that's going to sound terrible. It's like, and I'm like, and you could see him when he started playing music out of it, everyone's face was like,
really? Yeah.
And you can see the big smile come to his face. He's like, yeah,
it's amazing.
I know what you don't know, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That was amazing. The other thing they had in there was, now I just checked my trusty diary.
They've got a couple of different speakers. So they've got the Viper, right, which is I'm pretty sure that's the next size up, which is a very much an architectural speaker. So linear kind of speaker. It actually has some little clips on it, so you can actually just pop it up into the ceiling and like a light fitting kind of thing.
Right.
So like easy install.
Yeah.
Once again, we specify those, especially when we've got high-end architectural ceilings, and we don't want to. I mean, we don't even have the space for a round speaker, but we want to integrate that in. And we, once again, trying to make it disappear, and they make some wonderful products like that.
Super slim.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's about, I don't know, 700 high, and maybe 50 mil wide?
Yep, yeah.
So in the American terms, it's 2 foot.
An inch.
2 foot by an inch?
700, so it's 2 feet by an inch. Yeah.
That's about, So, and that, look, that again, put that with the sub, that was in there too.
Yep.
And look, it's just, there's so many use cases for that.
Yeah.
So.
And then, but what I love is that they have a speaker for nearly every kind of environment. So you go from the tiny little ones, and then you go up to, the Vipers, and then you've got they've got
some square cubes as well.
Square cubes,
yeah.
They've been apparently very popular, and also the Caymans as well, which are I love the Caymans. The Caymans are a linear, or a column line array, right. So they've got 2 versions of it. They've got a steerable version and non-steerable. Yeah. And they've got 4-inch drivers in it. So I think it's got 8 4-inch drivers. They're a meter tall. We use them at football stadiums. You know what I mean? They're incredible.
Yeah,
they really are.
And you say you can stack them up.
Oh, you can stack them, and you can daisy chain them, and you can. It's like really clean. It's kind of audio, but not as you know it.
Are they Dante?
I don't think so. No. They've got amplifiers that are Dante.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they go back to the amps, and the amps at Dante, but the speakers, I'm not aware that they make any Dante speakers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, they are releasing new ones called Coral RG102.
Okay, you're telling me about this. Yeah.
So this is probably not the same form factor as it's definitely not as the Lizard and the
Sure.
Viper. This would be 125 mil, 150 mil, so
Okay.
4 inches wide.
Okay.
Thereabouts.
Don't make me do math.
Okay. Times
We'll
by
be here all
2.5. And about a metre high, right?
Okay.
And so the real cool thing about it, and this is a brand new product,
right,
is their ability to switch the tweeter on and off. So it can run as a line array, column line array,
Right.
or they can switch the tweeter off and it runs as a point source.
Nice.
So essentially becomes, or switch it the other way. Anyway, you switch one of the ways and turns things on and off. And then when it's running in point source, it's 90 by 90 dispersion.
Okay.
Instead of the standard dispersion that you get on a line array. So it was, look, they ran it 2.1, ran a sub, and they played, what's that movie? That movie that Hugh Jackman's in with, I don't know, it'll come to me. Never Enough, that was the song.
Okay.
I'm not going to sing it for you.
How does
I will
it go?
if you want.
No.
And it was just a plain movie, right? And so it was really, really good. But the point was, you could use it for, like, you pair it with any sub, any of the K-array subs.
Okay. Normally they don't like you doing that. Oh, well, any of the K-array subs.
Sorry, any of the K-array
okay, right,
subs.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say, because there is...
Keep your tonal.
Yeah, no, look, they've got some special sauce. I don't know what it is, right? But it is some special sauce with what they do. And that's why they say, hey, look, you really need our subs to support it.
So, yeah.
It's part of the magic.
It's part of the magic, the voodoo that goes with it. Yeah, so, but it was like you could use this for home theatre, you could use this in commercial environments. There was a whole lot of, it was just such a, it was a one box fits everything.
Okay.
Like it was almost like, just buy that,
and
you're done. Okay, in any environment.
I told you they had special sauce.
They have special sauce.
I'm going to have to see that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Take
Tomorrow.
you there. You can do a tour.
I'll take you on the rounds. Yeah, because I've done a few Ks in the last couple of hours, just running between all. I got to hall 7. I didn't get to hall 8, but I've done every hall this morning.
Right, you ticked it all off.
Ticked
Wow.
it all off. Yeah,
You've done well.
Ran through them all.
Yeah.
So, what else did we see? Just a couple of noteworthy things that look. Some of it's not spectacularly beautiful and glamorous and whatever.
Yep.
But ISE.
What do they do?
So
I don't know what they do.
ISE.
Yeah.
All one word.
I can picture the logo, but I don't know what they do.
So they are essentially hardware manufacturers.
Okay.
For room booking panels.
Okay.
And something else, but basically room booking panels. So do you know Concierge? The room booking panel Concierge?
I've heard of it. I've never used it.
I think it's an Australian company. So essentially, they make the hardware for Concierge. They put their OS on it and.
Oh, so they actually make the panels themselves.
They make
right?
the hardware.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can run anything you like. You can run AppSpace. You can run.
Got it.
You know,
Was it like Android based or something like that?
Here's the thing.
Right.
It's always been Android based.
Okay.
But now there's been this we're getting more and more security conscious in this world.
Sure, of course.
Of AV. So what they've done is they've built their whole back end on MDEP.
Okay.
Essentially meaning, which is big game changing. For most part, they go, well, what does that matter?
Yeah.
But it's game changing for security's purposes.
Yes.
So it gets the benefit of the lightness of Android, plus the benefit of Microsoft to be able to then go and get software updates and security updates every 90 days.
And that is a real problem, because I know with some of our clients, the higher end clients, like top end of town, they're so security conscious, which they should be, and they need to be. We're talking about banks and financial institutions, and what they will say that they will not allow an Android device on their network that is more than 2 firmware versions old, right?
Yeah.
And so it has to be relatively current. And I know they keep tightening that up all the time. And like obviously
in AV stay up with though. That's 2 versions isn't that old.
No, but I think manufacturers have to better understand what the security requirements are for these organizations and actually allow at least allow the client to upgrade it. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It's all kind of locked down and stuff like that. But you know what I mean? Like, it's really the difference between getting on the project or not.
Yeah, 100% agree. Look, I have wandered around, and today I noticed one panel running Android 16.
Okay.
And I didn't even know we're at 16.
Were they publicising that, were they?
Yeah.
Okay, no, but it's said probably for that reason.
But, you know, we've seen 14. I know panels on the market that are just getting past 9, right?
Yep.
So, I get point in case, I get it.
It's a security risk, yeah.
It's a security risk, but it's like, oh, wow, like, that's a long way back.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, to the point, they're running MDEP.
Okay.
And so they get the best of everything. And I think that's new and noteworthy for room booking panels, as exciting as that gets for me.
I wonder where you were going with that when you're talking about room booking panels.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That is cool. No, I agree.
Cool.
I agree. It's new and different.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So I think lastly, the other one we've saw, I don't think we've spoken about it, is the SCT.
SCT, yes.
RTK AM1.
Yes. Yep.
I got that out.
SCT, for those that don't know, Sound Control Technologies. Yeah. Which is a wonderful company. I mean, you know, Dave and the team there, and Chris and everyone.
Yeah, look, you know, they're friends of the show.
Jason
Rosaire. Yep.
Yep.
Over in wherever he is.
Asia,
Hong Kong.
around there. Yeah.
Look, great company. You're right. I think Dave's a nice guy. Really looks after his people. Seems to have good foundations and whatever. The RTK AM1 teamed up with Poly.
Yes.
Solved the problem with the Poly G9 and the TC10, which is that you can't really do BYOD.
Yeah.
So they built this RTK where you plug all your Poly stuff at the table.
Yes.
All your mics, everything else.
All the inputs.
All the inputs. And then send it over Cat 5, 6.
Well, no, what
8.
was interesting, I remember you asked him that question, you asked Chris that question.
Yeah.
You said, look, what cabling do I need? And he said, well, it really depends on how far we're transporting it, right?
Which is a good real conversation.
Which is, it is true.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really be promoting it. You know, I'd be saying, you know,
but sometimes you're in an environment, where
an existing environment.
Yeah.
I know, and that's the space that they really play in. Like a lot of the time, right? You know what I mean? They're solving problems. So
that's kind of what they are.
They're
problem-solving.
That's right. They walk into a room and it's like, oh my god, like how are we going to fix this? And like you said, quite often that maybe a room has been installed for like the last 10 years and they want to upgrade it, and there's existing cabling infrastructure there.
Yep.
Maybe it is Cat 5, Cat 5e. So I get it. I'm talking really for a new build. Like, it's like, hey, this is the cabling.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That just makes sense at that point.
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah.
But look, great little box. Send it over, Cat. Pull it out the other end. You've got BYOD, and you've got the MTR compute device.
Yeah. In terms of transmit and receive, you got USB-C and plug it in.
And it's got a couple extra HDMIs where you can just use as share as well.
Sure.
So, look, it looks, and I think it just does what it says in the box.
Sure.
But
they had a little demo set up with the OWL camera there.
OWL Labs.
Yeah. The
it was
360-degree camera.
Interesting.
How was that tying into it?
They're just using that as a mic, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, sorry. I lied. That was actually the camera. They were running a 360 camera.
They were, and it was feeding into that box.
That's correct.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's right. So, look, it's a great little demo, and it's a great product that solves a problem. That is a real problem, because I can tell you, 3 weeks ago,
yes,
you
had that.
I've had that exact request on a boardroom that we just built.
Yeah.
Well, it was probably more than that, but we delivered it 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it was like, that would have just
solved the problem. Well, that's what they do. You should have rung them up.
Anyway.
You've got a direct line to them.
I do. I don't know why I didn't milk that. Anyway.
No, but it's great. And I think you could also plug the it looks like you could plug the touch panel straight into it as well, right? Like, so basically it becomes, at the table, it becomes a hub. So cameras, microphones, USB for connectivity, so it's doing audio, video, transportation plus USB as well.
Yeah.
It's doing the whole lot. Less boxes, right? Like, it's 2 boxes, one at each end. Problem solved.
don't make it harder than it needs to be.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
was there anything else you found?
Oh, look,
on your travels?
There's probably heaps. You know, I mean, there was heaps because I went through 6 halls.
6.
I actually did get outside because I always love to get to the audio demos that happen outside.
Oh, you went out there?
Yeah, I was out there for a few minutes when they had one. So a little different format this year. I think they were doing one speaker demo and then they wait half an hour and then they do the other one. So not just roll through the same content. Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't
were they
crazy.
the big white speakers that were out there that we saw? That looked like big trombone.
But no, they weren't using those ones. They're using HD technologies, I think they were called.
Okay.
Which was literally a box, you know, maybe about 1.5 feet high and about 1 foot wide, and some decent bottom end subs on it. But it was punchy, man. Like that was really tight. Normally it was like I'm sitting there going, "What speaker is it? Oh, it's that one."
Yeah.
And then when the beat dropped from you, it just went douche because it's so tight, it just hit you really hard. So it was really nice to. I quite liked that speaker. They've actually got a battery operated one too over there, like literally, like Milwaukee or
They just
slide
snap the batteries.
It's got a sub that's probably an 18-inch sub and on a post, you know, and it's got batteries in the back of it.
Awesome.
Very clever.
Anything you want to have a look at tomorrow?
Well, we've got some exciting things happening tomorrow.
Such as?
Haha, glad you asked. The Tech Effect Techanaut Awards are all happening tomorrow. We'll be running around like, can't say that, like crazy people.
Yes.
Yeah, can't say that on live TV, Australian slang. So we're going to go around. We've got heaps of awards. We've got, for those playing along at home, I didn't bring my glasses. We've got Best Stand, Best UC Solution, Best New Product, Innovation Award, Best in Show, Best Video Solution, Best Audio Solution. Oh, it keeps going on. Best Camera, Best Display, Best AI Solution, and
MVP.
Yes. The most valuable player, which is going to be hard.
Well, there's so much great tech here, right? And I believe that I think you've got an eye on a few companies already for various awards.
I do have my eye on a few, yeah. So I'll be running, dragging you around by the collar to have a look and make sure we agree.
Approve.
Yeah, agree. And and then we'll start handing them out.
Yeah.
Like,
it'll be fun.
We did it at the Infocom
for the first time.
Carrying his box around like a pack horse. It was that was fun.
Yeah,
but everyone loved it.
They loved it. Yeah, and they were different. Like at Infocom, we had the Tech Titan, right? We had the kind of monster ripping his shirt off. And remember we gave an award to Sony, and he got a photo with
doing the same thing. Yeah.
It was quite good. So, but yeah, we've got the Technauts for ISE.
Yep.
So that'll be great. Yeah.
That'll be good. Yeah, cannot wait. So, yeah, what's it for you?
Like you said, I didn't get a chance to hit the floor today, so I need to get out there tomorrow. I want to, like you said, see Epson. I'd like to see. We work closely with K-Array, but I'd love to see that new speaker. So that'll be cool.
Yep. You know, wouldn't mind getting up to that. If we get an opportunity, I'd like to get to the music demo rooms. I went there the first year, and I haven't been there 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
Actually, but do you know what? There's one more thing, and that's happening tonight at 6:30.
What?
And it's the drone display out the front.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
And it's the last opportunity. So
6:30. Okay. All right.
We're on for that. Oh, I'm on for that.
Okay.
You can come with.
All right. Oh, can I?
Yeah.
All right,
you're
thanks.
invited.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We need to wrap up.
We do need to wrap up. Hey, it's been good to have a chat today. We are back tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes. 2:30. We're actually early.
Yeah.
The show starts at 10 and finishes at after 2:30.
4 o'clock, I think.
Whatever time that is. Anyway, Pete, it's been good. Thank you again to AVIXA TV, and we will see you guys tomorrow, 2:30.
Bye for now.
So do we do a countdown, or are you already recording? Let's do our own countdown.
Okay.
Three, two, one. Ready? Okay. You won. Okay.
All right, ready?
Yep.
It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's Rave TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Rave TV. The industry's, one of the only weekly live broadcasts.
I think we're still the only weekly live TV show.
I don't know. I'm only scared to say that we're the only one.
There might be
there's
someone
another
in some
one.
country somewhere.
What if we get sued?
That's impossible. Anyway, this is Rave TV. Obviously, we come to you normally on a Wednesday morning.
Yes.
And it happens to be Wednesday morning
It is
today.
Wednesday morning.
But we are coming to you live for 4 straight days from ISE 2026 here in Barcelona. And what an amazing show. We're excited to be here. We come to you live every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. usually.
Yep.
But we're going to do a live show each day because we have this opportunity to have these awesome guests. We're actually going to have a guest on today from AVIXA. And actually, the person we're going to have on is responsible for for the most part, all of AVIXA's online presence, including the AVIXA Exchange. Sam Minish, we're going to have her on. And then we're going to have Toby Tungle on. Unfortunately, I know some of you are going, Toby Tungle.
Not him.
Actually, Toby's going to be a great guest. Not only is Toby he's connected to everyone in the industry, but he's also he is an outdoorsman.
Yes, he is.
And considering from Michigan, like that, Michigan in the U.S.,
Yes.
that's not the kind of place you normally go outside.
I didn't
but actually,
realize he was
Toby
from Michigan
participated in the fundraiser bike ride that they
Yes.
did. I forget how many miles they rode, but something like 200 miles to get here as a fundraiser. We'll ask him about that. But obviously, we're here for the show. What do you think so far?
I think this is a good show. I can't tell if it's as busy as last year, though.
I think it's busier, actually.
Do you?
I think so.
I think that I just never can tell because it's just always busy to me. If
Yeah,
I'm knocking into people trying to go where I need to go, I'm like, yep, must be busier than last year.
I think yesterday, I mean, obviously you can't tell because it's just the beginning. The show's just barely open today. I fully believe that yesterday was busier first day than last year's first day.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think this is going to be a record show from attendance standpoint, but I don't think it's a record show from new product standpoint.
No.
I think there's a huge amount of also ran products here, of like, better, faster, higher resolution products.
New update.
Updated products.
Yeah.
And I have a theory as to why that is, because I looked at the number of new product news stories we have online this year versus last year. It's half the amount of stories than we had last year. So we're getting a lot less new product stories.
Yeah.
And I think that the reason for that is a ton of manufacturers have invested in AI technology, and that has not been realized. I think a lot of them, AI, as the keynoter this morning is going to talk about, there's a lot of hype around AI, and a lot of it is not real. Now, there's a lot of AI is not going to actually come to fruition in our industry. And I think, but the ones that will, the stuff that is going to be late. I think a lot of it is sort of late to the game. So we're not seeing that money being spent on hardware development. So a lot of stuff we'd normally see in hardware
And normally
is going
get press releases
going to
about,
software.
yeah,
Exactly.
that makes sense.
So I think next year will be a better year for new products.
I think we're still trying to figure out what we're doing with AI, though, too. Like, I feel like everyone's feeling that pressure of trying to put it in their workflow somehow.
So our AI has been controlled and managed from other sources, not our industry.
Yes.
So Microsoft is driving AI in collaboration, Zoom similarly. And so for example, we're not in control of that. We're responding and we're reacting to it. The broadcast industry is controlling the AI in Pro AV spaces and cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're adapting to that. We're not driving any of it. And I think that's the reason why we're not seeing a lot of product yet.
I think that makes sense. Are you seeing any other trends that are really standing out to you? For me, I'm seeing a lot of as a service, which I feel like 100%. I saw that like 2 years ago, and now I'm seeing it like in like full force again. Like Spinetics is really leaning into digital signage as a service. Just I think like as a way to like help the integrator manage so that it's not like a, what do they call it, a hang and bang, where you just like put it up and you're done and you just like don't deal with it anymore. Like that's not really how AV works anymore.
Yeah, well, I also think that end users want to buy, if possible, OpEx rather than CapEx.
Yes.
We're still a few years away, and that's a
yeah.
good question for Toby. Let's bring Toby on because
All
I think
right.
this is a good opportunity for him to respond to this. Toby Tungle, as you may know, is from CTI. CTI is, I think, the 4th largest integrator in the world now, somewhere in that range. And Toby Tungle, come on up,
Into the
on our
hot
stage
seat.
here, into the hot seat. And yeah, this is a
Wouldn't that
stage.
be funny if
Yeah,
it
to
was
step
ripped?
up to get here, right? It's a stage. Yeah, and by the way,
Absolutely, that was-
thank you to AVIXA TV for allowing us to
yeah.
use their live stage
Yes.
here. And this is all being run by Ross. And Ross is, there you go. There's a company, Heritage in broadcast that through IPMX is coming into the Pro AV space. So thank you for them to allow us to use the studio. But we were just talking about, you off camera, you heard what we were talking about, right?
A little bit.
All right.
I may or may not have been checking my phone.
That's all right. Well, what's your response to what we were just talking about?
Totally. Totally.
Can you ask the question again, please?
Go ahead. Ask. Oh my God! No one listens to me here. We're talking about new technology and how there's a lot of sort of delayed gratification in new technology. And she was talking about, like, we're seeing a lot of AI that hasn't come to fruition. And Steph, you're the one that actually brought this up. That she's seen a lot of as a service, and I said that the end user wants to buy OpEx rather than CapEx, but our industry's not ready for it.
Well, and AV as a service was a hot item during COVID, if you guys remember back then.
Yeah,
That's right.
And it had a failed launch because everybody didn't know what to do with it, and we still haven't figured it out as an industry.
Yeah, no question.
But the IT industry has figured it out, right? They have figured out how to make that as a service and make it easy. I do believe that customers want to do that because they want to spend more and have bigger projects that are more complicated as well.
Yeah, and I think that, in the higher education space, everything is about money now. It's all about, and a lot of money. By the way, there's a great opportunity in higher education because a lot of money is going to go into security. That's a big space. So as you move, forget about the collaboration space in higher education, go after security in higher education. That's a future way to enter higher education space. And I think that you're going to have to sell to the university OpEx because the budgets are all being squeezed, so spreading it out over 10 years.
Yeah.
And the advantage of that from an integrator standpoint, I would think, is you own the relationship.
100%, and you're ingrained for multiple years or decades for that matter, where they say, this is the refresh cycle, this is how we're going to work through it. You work with them on troubleshooting things because it does break occasionally, right?
Yeah.
And you can actually help drive their innovation for technology, and spend usually gives reduced to help understand what that client or really student experience is in higher education, and continue to build on what they want to do for the next 5 to 10 to 15 years for their roadmap.
Which brings me back to the point, like the end of the hang and bang.
Yeah.
It's such a terrible thing. Yeah.
No, but that's what they say.
Yeah,
That's what they say. I mean, I don't.
Well, Toby's company's not in that business. He's competing with companies that are in that business, right? The companies that come in and just just install things. You're into design, build, and integration, but also more importantly, service and support after the installation. That's where the money is in the opportunity to take care of the customer and make sure that their stuff is working. Tell me about, give us an update on where CTI is. I heard a rumor that y'all had the best year ever in 2025. That literally not just from sales, but also in margin.
Yeah, we're kind of the hidden truth in the industry on purpose, right? We don't subscribe to walk around with our chest puffed out that we're the biggest and best.
Yeah, you don't even participate in the SCN top 50.
We do not. If you're not number one, does it really matter? Right? But so last year we had our biggest revenue year. We had our biggest net profit year.
Yeah.
We also hired more people than we ever have in CTI history. I think we hired over 350 people worldwide. We opened our first office in the UK. I think we actually had 5 other acquisitions last year from that perspective as well. So it was a great year. We continued to grow and really focus on the people and the culture around it, and everything else kind of happens on its own.
And are you bullish on 2026? What do you feel about 2026?
Just with January, which is today's February 1st now, I guess.
Or February 3rd, actually.
February 3rd, sorry.
Okay.
The days are kind of messed up with ISE already.
Or maybe it's the 4th.
Actually, it is the 4th now that I think about it.
What day is this?
If January is any vision of what we're going to see in 2026, we are going to absolutely crush what we think we're going to do.
Okay.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. And seeing the people growth behind it has been something that we're really proud of as well.
Very cool.
Y'all have been hiring great people. Every new person that I have met over the past year who has been a new hire for you guys has been amazing. So y'all are clearly doing good work.
That's all Kathy Kelly.
All right. Shout out, Kathy.
She's here somewhere.
So tell us about the bike ride. Tell us what happened. Like,
Yeah.
It didn't go exactly the way you wanted it to go, but I know, Toby, you and I, we have a lot of we get to talk to each other on a regular basis, and we're both into cycling. You more than me, obviously.
You run more than I do.
Yeah, I like to swim and run, but not cycle. I
don't do any of that.
But talk about this fundraiser and what you did, because this is something that's been going on. I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years now.
I think it's 5 years. So actually, Emily is the one that told me about it. I kind of seen a little bit of it on social media over the course of a couple years, and she said you should do this. She didn't actually do it with me this year, but that's next year for that. But it is a charity that is called Bike Fest that raises money for the live event folks that are freelancers that are out of work. And it started during COVID because their industry was hit so hard from that perspective. Last year, I think they raised 40,000 pounds from that particular ride. I don't know what the total is right now. It's open through ISE right now for Backup Tech is the actual charity. But it started on Friday before ISE in Valencia, and we rode 120K to, I'm going to say all these names terribly wrong. I apologize to my Spanish friends.
Right.
Belarus. We ate way more Spanish food than we could ever imagine.
Love.
Which was amazing. And there was a brunch in Valencia. It was our famous brunch.
Yeah.
It was 2 hours, multi-course. Absolutely the most amazing.
And then you have to ride after
Then you
that?
have to ride after.
Oh.
So like Friday, we rode for about 5.5 hours of riding time, but we had a 2.5 hour break between that. So that was great. And then Saturday, we woke up to a severe wind warning.
Okay.
And I'm trying to compare what's K versus MPH, because I'm American, right?
Yeah.
And they had a wind gust of 167K that morning.
That's crazy.
So they made the call, which was the right call, to cancel it.
That's 100-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah. And so we were driving up to Salou for our next night shuttle. Cars tipped over on the road, debris everywhere. It was wild. And we've got it was a crazy experience. So last day was perfect weather. It was sunny, no rain. It was 68 miles to 115K-ish into the Fiera on Sunday afternoon.
Well, congratulations. Yeah. I've always wanted to do that, and that is actually started by Juan, the founder of Equipson, and he's such a great guy, and he's done such an amazing job giving back to the industry, and thanks for doing that. I think that's really cool, and congratulations on all the stuff y'all have done over the last 3 or 4 years. It's not gone unnoticed, and congratulations on 2025.
I appreciate that.
I really appreciate you joining us here on Rave TV. Yeah. We have another guest, and we're lucky to have, and this is, actually, I was fortunate to meet her, I think, like her first day.
Really?
At AVIXA, I think. I mean, one of the first days, she was introduced to me, and
awesome.
Sam Minish is the reason why the AVIXA Exchange exists, which is their online community, I would say. I would call it a community. Sam, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm great.
Welcome
Second day of the
to
show.
Rave
I'm
TV.
ready.
And
thank you for having me. I'm
and thanks for letting us
excited
use
to
your
be here.
amazing studio here.
Yes.
Thanks, as I said, a shout out to Ross for all that they're doing here, and we don't use the teleprompter, but thanks to the teleprompter people. But in any case, how's the show been for you?
All right, it's been awesome. We've had a bunch of really great productions. Of course, I mean, it's buzzing, which is super fun.
Yeah.
It's great to be. It's always good to be in Barcelona.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so much warmer here than at home.
Yeah,
So
very soon now, of
so
course.
true.
Yes. Even with a little drizzle this morning,
Yeah.
it's been absolutely great. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what your job is like day to day.
Oh gosh. I mean, my role and my team, we're kind of all things digital at this point. Everything, very top of funnel. I love a good marketing term. Just chuck it in there for fun. But we really are trying to reach folks where everybody is. And so my team is focused on the website, which there's very exciting things happening sometime between now and InfoComm.
Okay.
Stay tuned, coming soon. So we manage all of that experience, all that access that you guys need for all that education and webinars and all of that, right? Accessing all of that. We work really closely with my colleague Pam and her team, and so they're producing all of that, all this live content.
Very cool.
And then, of course, my team also produces this amazing activation.
Yeah.
Each show, which is so fun, and I love that we get to bring it to both ISE and InfoComm.
I want to do a shout out at least, because they're using a company called New Media Campaigns, which is all my former students that are redoing their website. which is really exciting. So I'm excited that Carolina grads are helping you with this new rollout. It's a great company, and congratulations. I'm obviously proud of my students and the stuff that they do, and obviously you see the value in them. I know they're a big part of your team. But y'all are doing amazing stuff, and I definitely encourage people, if you haven't, I don't know what to say, like if you haven't not have joined AVIXA Exchange, but it's a great community and a way to kind of get involved in the industry, but also a great way for continuing education. It's a great way to find other people in the industry, and it's sort of like a great online community, but you're always doing webinars and other events through the community. How do they sign up?
Yeah, it's really easy, exchange.avixa.org.
Yeah.
And you go, you don't even have to sign up initially, right? If you want to explore, you want to check out the content. I know there's great stuff from Rave on there.
Yeah.
It's really designed for, if there's information that's out there, if there's something about that's worth talking about.
Yeah.
It's a place where you can talk about it, right? You know that there's like-minded folks there.
Yeah.
We've got stuff from like real deep dive, this syntax versus that, like,
yeah, what's
we
neat
get real
about it?
We nerd out, but also we'll talk about like the best restaurants in Barcelona before show. So,
well, what's nice about it is you have niche groups and you have wide groups. So
right.
you'll find a community, you'll find an event, and it's a great way for people to kind of connect, but also continuing education, because AVIXA has the only continuing education, recognized continuing education in our industry, which is the CTS program.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So you have to earn a certain amount of hours and continuing credit hours, what known as RUs.
Yes.
I even forgot what the U stands for.
Renewal unit.
There you go. RUs and CTS, and I've been a CTS.
That's a question
for
on
a
the
long
exam
time.
now.
Is it really?
Well,
We're adding that right now.
I better retake it so that I can get that one right.
And in fact, it's the only recognized accreditation in our industry, and there's multiple layers of that. And you can actually do renewal units. You can live in exchange and just get renewed
because
constantly.
you guys, like, people are always posting like upcoming CTS RU
Yes.
opportunities, which
Yeah.
is fantastic, because we share when we have something coming up, and other companies share when they have something coming up, so that people can maintain that 10 per year that they need.
Yeah, I know you guys generate a lot, which is awesome. I think that's my favorite part about the program is it's not just AVIXA, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we obviously we produce a ton of education. We have some of the most brilliant minds that come up with, we want everybody to learn. We want to further the industry, and that's magical. But there's so many smart people, and it's not just about everything that we say, right? It's everything that all the smart folks, right? Like you guys and any company can create their own.
That should be pointed out is that you can create your own community inside of the exchange.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
which
That's
is
something that
probably
doesn't
the
exist
coolest
anywhere.
part about it.
Yeah.
I think.
Very
Is
much so.
I have an off-the-wall question for you.
Oh,
have you
boy.
had a chance to walk the show floor?
A little bit. I've made it to 3 of the halls.
Okay, so I know
Great.
you didn't come from the AV industry. Oh my gosh, we just lost.
Yeah.
You didn't come from the AV industry, but if you were, obviously you've now been indoctrinated, for lack of a better term,
I'm in it.
into the AV. Have you had a chance to look at anything? Has anything caught your eye that you're excited about, or that's just sort of interesting to you? That you've, I wouldn't call you a casual observer, because you're in a very niche part of our industry, but obviously you're covering everything. So I'm curious what you've been most excited about.
Yeah, actually, so here's the funny part. I've always said, I'm new to AV, right? I'm new to AV.
Well, you can't say that anymore. You've been here like 5 years.
Because I've been here 5 years, but now with the convergence with broadcast, I've been in broadcast for 25 years.
There you
So
go.
I've been doing AV forever. I started out as a theater nerd, like all the best of us.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
know, so
No, I was a
actually
rock
new.
star.
Yeah. We've got a
don't
few of
believe
those, few reformed roadies, yeah.
So what have you
Nothing
noticed?
surprises
What do
me.
you like? What do you like?
I absolutely, honestly, I love the fact that the broadcast section, that's where I've spent a lot of my time,
Yeah.
right? It's super relevant to everything we're doing here at AVIXA TV, so I can go there as an observer, but also as a customer, as a user of the
Yeah.
technology. And so I love watching. I like seeing things that I have seen at broadcast shows, but I see them here,
Yeah.
right? And I can see the application to corporate, which is our application, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're a company, and we're trying to reach the world and our audience and our customers and all of that with our technology. And so seeing the latest in, I stopped by the Ross booth. They've got, a lot of very cool stuff that they're working on right now. But we talked with, I have seen the expansion and the evolution of that space.
Yeah.
And I love watching the two worlds like collide, and then there's the aha moment that I see on people's faces, right?
Yeah.
Even more so perhaps than some of the technology.
Yeah.
Is this like, oh, this all talks to each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, right. I mean, we've used different terms, but it all talks to each
But
other,
it's
and
the
it all
same
works together.
End goal
Yeah.
of getting a signal.
That's Dave Labascus. That dude just kissed me.
We're a loving.
Dave, you're gonna walk away. You're
This
not
is
gonna
an
say-
industry of love.
You don't want to say hello to
No.
the audience? Come say hello at least. This is the CEO of AVIXA.
Yeah.
And
I'll just go.
retiring.
He's always-
He's
I'll
leaving
go.
the
Hey,
industry.
guys, how's it going?
He's retiring. When is your official retirement?
End of the year.
End of the year. I mean,
year,
what is he
but I
going? This is a huge loss to the industry here.
Hi, Dave.
You're not going to give her a kiss?
Just for you.
There's a. Oh, I get a hug too.
Hey, thanks for dropping by, Dave.
Yeah.
He just came by for the donuts and coffee.
Yeah.
I could see him standing there staring at me, and I'm
Lurking.
like, God, don't say something
There
silly.
he is, always watching,
judging
always
you.
waiting until the end of the year
Yes,
when he
the Red
retires.
Strider. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And what's interesting is, to continue what you were saying, what's interesting is what used to take an entire truck is now in a backpack, literally. That's not an exaggeration. Like you can be the creator economy has created a whole new industry of
Right.
backpack journalists, backpack influencers, and backpack personal advertisers in a way.
Right.
And I think they're all again eventually going to find our industry and realize we're the one providing the solutions to all this.
That's true.
Right. And I mean, so many of those folks, I mean, it's a great career opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So many brands are delving into using this kind of technology, right?
100%.
As part of their communication strategy, as part of their engagement strategy. The thing that I find that's very cool, and I've seen it swing several times back and forth. People's trust right now is in people, right?
100%.
They trust a brand
Yep.
because they trust a person,
Right.
right? They're like, I know Gary, I know Steph. That's why I trust Rave, right? And that's the thing that I think, Pro AV then is providing this whole new career path for all
Yeah.
these people, these humans
Yeah.
that have built these brands and have built these. So seeing more and more of that inclusion, but then seeing it step up, right? Because
Yeah.
at a corporate level, there's a lot of, if you're hosting a town hall or, something with stockholders or whatever, right? That's a big to do, but you can apply all of those learnings. And so it's a new career path for
100%.
people.
I agree.
I mean, media is wonderful. It's got to always have a special place to my heart. But now you can take those skills and apply them into the
Yep.
corporate application, into live events,
Yeah.
sports, right? Higher ed even, right?
Yeah.
Is taking a lot of this technology and using
Yep.
it and reaching out to folks. So I love it.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. In fact, I would even say if you're a brand, whether it's an integrator, distributor, design consultant, or you're a manufacturer, if you're not playing in the creator economy, meaning if you're not encouraging your people to represent you and your brand personally, you're making a mistake. It's
Yeah.
not about the brand. It's about the people representing the brand that make the brand. Like the reason why Apple is so popular is because Steve Jobs was Apple and people trusted Steve Jobs, and that's allowed them to hang their technology for another 15 years on his brand, right?
Yeah.
And that's probably a classic example of that. And I agree. I think our industry serves that really well with the technology and allows you to be your own brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, look, thanks for joining us. I
Of
really
course.
appreciate
Thank you
it.
very much.
And
Yeah.
we have a lot more of industry stuff to cover.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we want to talk about any products? What do you want me to do? I know I have to do
Well, you gotta
I need to do
go.
a tour.
Yeah,
Is
you
there any
better-
products? I want to mention one product that I saw. Shure introduced the video bar, and I had a chance to get an in-depth deep dive
you
of
get
it
to
today.
hold it?
I did.
Okay.
And there's a couple of things about it that they aren't even promoting that really surprised me. They're talking about how it has 4 cameras. They're talking about how it's got all this connect. It's got one of the coolest features, simple features. You can hold the volume and up and down button down at the same time for 5 seconds, and what will pop up on the screen is the IP address and the MAC address for the device.
Oh.
So you know how hard it is sometimes to find that?
find that
Yeah,
information.
it's readily available to you.
Okay.
It's simple integrator features like that, and they've got a built-in router in it. So it's got a 4-port router, PoE Plus built into it. So there's little features like that that other people aren't talking about that's kind of interesting. We shot a video of it, so you can go watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm actually going to do a tour of Hall 3 where we're at right now because it's easy for me. So give me about a minute.
Okay.
My videographer's set up over there, and I'm going to do a live show floor tour for you.
Okay, sounds good. In the meantime, I am going to throw us to a Shure commercial. Shout out Shure, who is our sponsor for the entire week of Rave TV. So very grateful to them, and they are making us sound really good right now. So shout out Shure. And then I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what's going on backstage here at AVIXA TV and let Gary get set up. So we'll be right back.
Every team deserves an extraordinary meeting experience, but sometimes obstacles get in the way. That's why we created the IntelliMix Bar Pro with powerful video performance for more clarity, and with AI camera framing that keeps everyone in focus, so no one's left out of the picture. Designed for IT, secure, cloud managed, simple. The bar that removes barriers.
All right, so now we're going to walk through, because what Gary and I were seeing versus what everyone else is seeing are very different. So with me is Matt Morgan from Ross. How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Doing well, off clearly, but we're making it.
Absolutely.
So I was excited for you to kind of walk us through everything that Ross is doing to make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a great team again with us at ISE, powering the AVIXA TV studio. So what you'll see is our whole suite of products that are focused into that broadcast space and leveraging the studio capabilities. So we'll take you over here, introduce you to Max.
Okay. Hi, Max.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. Tell me a little bit about what you do here to power this broadcast.
Yeah, so today we're showcasing a bunch of virtual solution and a bunch of robotic cameras. So we have our X350 heads and our VR600. One of them is trackless, so we're showcasing our Voyager system. So basically we do virtual production. We can augment sponsor logos in our case for today using the VR600 and tracking system. So if you see here, we have a Ross 3D logo. It's not actually there, but I can move the camera around and have it tracked in real time. This is also a Chrome logo, so if someone were to walk by it, you'd see the reflection in the actual graphics. So it's a cool little feature. We're driving the system too with our Lucid Studio. So that's our software to interact with the virtual content. So you can, if I wanted to shift this logo over, I can do that as well. And then for trackless, we have our Trackless Studio, which is this guy over here. And then this is just a simplified version for virtual. So this is where we can have someone on the green screen be in a different location. So if you see on camera 2 here, I can change the different camera angles, different camera movements as well, and presets.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's where
So was this very difficult to set up?
It takes a bit to set up. Trackless is actually really easy. It's just camera on sticks. Locked is a bit more complicated. You have to calibrate the cameras, calibrate the virtual, make sure they're in the same space virtually and real. So it's a bit more of technically driven, yes.
Well, nice to meet you, Max. I appreciate you taking me through that. Haley, I'm going to put you in the hot seat next.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you. Tell me a little bit about what you are doing here.
Hi, so I am a product specialist for production switches at Ross, and our range of touch drive panels are absolutely amazing. This is a TD3S, which is lovely. So yeah, I've got a whole load of very, very customizable buttons on here to work with. I'm running a whole bunch of macros from here, controlling different monitors. I can throw things in the virtual. I can throw up different CGs from here. And I'm using Ultrix Carbonite in the background. I've got Expression Graphics. I've got Trio video servers. And I'm running everything from this one panel. It's incredibly flexible. And it means I'm not like an octopus all the time. I can keep my hands just exactly where I need them, follow conversation, and I've just got little things that I can run very easily. So it's a fantastic panel to work with.
Because it looked like I was watching you earlier, and it looked very difficult what you were doing. So the fact that you're saying it's pretty easy, that's really awesome. Well, thank you, Haley. It was nice meeting you. All right, what's next?
So all of the control side is here, but now everything that is capturing that is over here. So we have our Acid Cam, which is made by Ross. And powering that, like this setup right here is our trackless setup. So what Max is running is being captured here. So this puts you inside of that virtual environment. It's on our X350 head, which is a full pan tilt head that allows you to control a camera remotely. What's cool about these is that there's also a screen on the front here that you can set up. And so why that's important for you is if you're an engineer or you're an end user, instead of going back and forth to your control room to make configurations, you can do it straight from that screen. And what's also nice is the little added salt on the steak, if you will, is that also can be a tally light for your talent. So these are great for studio applications and live environment applications like town halls or auditoriums, things like that. And then on top of it is the QScript, who partners with us a lot for those that talk back and being able to see what you're saying, when you should say it, all those things. So it's a great setup for people who are looking for that confidence, or maybe putting someone who's newer to being on camera in their environment. So pretty much we're replicating that across the board here with the Acid Cams and the X350s, and that's the whole setup, powered by Ross.
This seemed like it was crazy to set up. So what was setup like?
Setup is controlled chaos.
Totally.
Always. I like to point to, when we're on a show floor, people might think this is a demo. This is not a demo. This is a full-fledged broadcast that's going from the time the show starts till we wrap it all up. So typically this would take weeks and weeks to set up, between furniture and putting all the pieces together. So really, setup doesn't start here. Setup starts back in the shop with all of the partners who are powering the AVIXA TV studio working together to make it happen. So, but it comes together pretty quickly because it's all done ahead of time. So just like you would plan in your real world environment, we do that here, and it comes together, controlled chaos.
Well, Matt, thank you so much for taking me around. Last question for you. Where can people find more about Ross?
rossvideo.com.
Well, thank you so much. I think Gary is ready now, so we are going to push it to him to take you around the rest of Hall 3. See ya.
All right, thanks, Steph. We are in Hall 3, and we're going to take you through a quick show floor tour. I thought I'd start here at the e-paper displays, and you're actually seeing one recalibrate, basically change its image. It takes about 30 seconds, 45 seconds for it to resync, right? Because it's e-paper, right? Remember, there's no power. These are all battery-operated displays, and you can see them in different configurations here at the Philips booth. So I'm going to take you on a quick walkthrough of Hall 3 here show, and we're in the kind of the back-ish of Hall 3, and we're diagonally across from the Shure booth. Of course, Shure is using ISE 2026 to launch their video bar product, which is a collaboration product. You can poke your head in there and see it right there. You can see they now have cameras. It's not just one camera, they have 4 cameras, I believe, on the front of that video bar, and at least 3, maybe 4 cameras. I can't remember now. Too many specs in my head. And it's designed room, chop it up from different angles. But as you can see, there's a line of people in waiting to go get a demo of the video bar product from Shure. Check out Absen. Absen obviously is the industry's LED-only company. That's all they do is LED. They're the industry's only LED-only company. I don't think there's another one. And of course, Absen Live is their division that handles live events, staging, and concerts. All right, so as we move up here, I want you to notice this is the back of the LG booth. They have surrounded on 2 sides of their booth transparent LED technology. So if you look, they had a version of this that was applied like a film to glass. Now they have fully transparent, kind of like what MuxWave, MuxWave, that company had. LG has a version of that as well. And of course, LG always does a sort of like spectacular show opening, and this year is no different. They have a 3-sided cube, LED cube, where the transparent LED is built into the show. I don't know if we're going to actually catch it while it's actually moving here, but while we're waiting for that, you can take a look at Nelly, the Christie elephant, being projection mapped with 5 4K projectors. But let's see if we catch it back here. Yeah, they always do something kind of fun. I'm sure they'll do something very similar at Infocom for those of you who are watching in the U.S. But people just stand around and watch this show. It's like a museum. There you go, it's moving. And it's kind of cool because you can see how they built the content to work seamlessly with the LED behind it. All right, so that's transparent LED on top of traditional micro LED technology. Panasonic, of course, one of the biggest projector companies in the world, along with Epson, side by side. Here's Epson on the right, You can check out the videos we shot at Epson this morning, or we shot them yesterday at ravepubs.com/ISE. Type in Epson in the video search window. But as you can see, they're doing ceiling projection from single 4K projectors. And they've got their immersion pro wall with 3 short throw projectors. And by the way, there's their short throw projector in a cart. That's a one SKU product you can buy from Epson. That's the 815 short throw projector, which generates a 130-inch image from 18 inches away from the wall. Panasonic, of course, they've got their projector products, which are primarily used in live events, rentals, staging applications. As we move across the aisle here, this is a big walking aisle between all of the halls. To the other side of Hall 3, we got Crestron. Crestron probably has, if not the biggest booth, one of the top 2 or 3 in the whole entire show. And they've divided up their home division. This is their home products here. So Crestron at Home. And their commercial products, which include the AV over IP product line, the NVX, and all the other Crestron products. And then across from them, of course, is Samsung. Samsung last year showed transparent micro LED technology. I don't see that this year, so I don't know if that was just a tech demo last year and they're just not showing it this year, but they do have a LED behind a piece of glass that they don't want anybody touching. And it's a micro LED. It's an all-in-one kind of configuration of a micro LED, but it looks like there might be an LED surface on the front of this. Let's see what this is. I'm not sure what this is, actually. I need to actually come back here and look. So I don't know if this is micro LED on top of it, a transparent micro LED on top of it, but ultimately this is their micro LED technology. All right, known as the wall. We're not going to go inside the Samsung booth, but we will do a tour of the Samsung booth, which of course will be posted at ravepubs.com/ISE. Again, we're just doing a quick show floor tour. It's always hard doing these when the show floor is open. A lot easier to do it when the show floor is closed. Sharp now is only Sharp. Last year's ISE, it was Sharp NEC. Now it's just Sharp. Obviously focused very keenly on LED technology, but they also have, if you look over there to the left, they have their e-paper product there to the left, and they have looks like to be a 65-inch e-paper. I don't know, let's walk over there and let's see what size that is. That's the biggest e-paper I've seen. Remember, e-paper, real low voltage, can run on a battery for months, depending on how often you're changing the content. Yeah, they don't say the size, but looks to be 65 inches. That's definitely e-paper. Those are all e-paper displays. And they also have they interestingly enough have an outdoor e-paper product line as well. So definitely watch the videos we're going to shoot on this. We haven't shot their product videos yet. You can see all of our product videos at ravepubs.com/ISE. Here's Sony. Sony this year is all about Bravia. The entire booth is all about Bravia. They do have a small display of LED, but a lot of LCD products focus here. And then, I don't know that I want to go any farther than this. There's just so much, so much more to see. But we also got to keep the show kind of short, right? And we've already gone about 10 minutes. I think that's a pretty good tour. You can see there's a lot more down there. Sennheiser's down there, Kramer's down there, Planar. I did do a booth tour of Planar yesterday, so you can check that out at ravepubs.com/ISE. Type in Planar in the video search window. We got a lot of ISE stuff to cover. We're probably going to shoot somewhere around 2,000 videos here at the show. 1,400 exhibitors at this year's show. Record number, supposedly, according to Kirsten. And I'm excited about the show. Now, I will say, got to be honest with you, not a lot of product innovation at this year's ISE compared to other years in the past. Not a lot of really new, innovative things. A lot of sort of like improvements of existing technology. Probably the most impressive thing I've seen so far is probably the development of how fast e-paper is developing and how much interest there is in e-paper, and how the price of LEDs continues to go down. So I could be wrong. Yeah, so that's it for the show floor tour. Thanks for watching Rave TV. Really appreciate your support. We'll be coming to you every day live here at ISE 2026. And of course, you can always see our coverage at ravepubs.com.
It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's Rave TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.